Tonight on Task Force Geek, we are talking about the huge dump of tasty info from Disney during their Investor Day event in 2020. It's amazing. It's a lot to unpack, and it's about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's about Lucasfilm, and it's about the game changer that's going to happen with streaming and everything else that's going to be going on. Plus, we have some breaking rumors about Firefly that got such a great reaction that we got to talk about that. And that's all coming up now. Hey, welcome to Task Force Geek. My name is Dirk Cooper, and today I am joined, as always, by Sean.
Yo.
And Walt.
How you doing, everyone?
And once again, our buddy Stoney Williams. I'm going to make sure that we have his background here before we get off of him. Raised in the back of the comic book store and weaned on sci-fi conventions, Stoney Williams, the bald, bearded bard, is a 35-year-old married father of five. He tells stories through script and prose. His debut comic book, Villainous, published by Mad Cave Studios, is the publisher's first foray into the superhero genre. Colorist for the Watch and Cthulhu Invades Oz anthology. Look at this. Stoney is writing for the sequel anthology Cthulhu Invades Wonderland right now. For those that missed out on the Kickstarter, Cthulhu Invades Oz is taking a second swing at Indiegogo, and we'll share all of that goody stuff next. Hey, Stoney, you had a little encounter with the Cove. How did that go?
It went well.
I mean, as well as it's going to go, right? You're all right.
We had a discussion. We came to an agreement.
Yeah. We are still struggling with symptoms with the kids. Actually, miraculously, my oldest daughter and I did not end up
with the kids.
Yeah, the four out of the five got it. My wife got it, and once we got a positive test result back for her, we tested everybody else and quarantined everybody who was sick and positive. And we've been taking care of everybody else, my daughter and I, sanitizing everything every time everybody leaves the room. And the kids, I think, have pretty well kicked it. We got some lingering symptoms like coughs. My wife has had some setbacks, but we hope that she kicks it soon. So.
Well, we all hope that your family gets over this soon. It's terrible. I mean, you have a pretty large family, and I imagine that once it happens, everyone's on red alert and stuff. Right. I can only imagine what it's like. It's got to be really tough.
It's been a rough couple of weeks. Thank you.
Yeah, hang in there, man.
Definitely.
We're looking out for you. All right, we are broadcasting live from my Facebook account, which is that right there. And on YouTube, which is that right there. Check us out. And on my Twitter account and Periscope account, which is that right there. That's all the goodies. And if you're watching from anywhere, please share it so that your platform becomes our platform. Let's get into this. Oh my gosh, we've got so much to talk about. I don't even know how to get started, to be honest with you. But we're going to start with our red alert.
Yeah, that was interesting.
How about that?
Yeah, I was like, wow, that was like, what? I like that one.
That was
Thank you very much.
That was a little sci-fi in that. That was kind of cool. Earmark that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
We put that on
red alert. You'll see it a lot.
Put that on the keep list.
We have so much. This is a crazy episode because, like, for the past 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks,
2020.
I've been coming up with things to talk about. I mean, it's been one of those things where it's like, what, can we talk about shoelaces or something this week, or maybe
banana peels,
sewer drains, banana peels? That sounds good. I mean, just anything to talk. I've been making up things and whatever, and then like the last week, Disney dumps the most incredible amount of stuff I've never seen anyone dump so much information in one event, which wasn't even like a fan event. It was for their investors, and they dumped everything on this. I mean, a few months ago, people were saying that Star Wars was dead because they weren't making any Star Wars announcements whatsoever. And then they dump all this crazy crap all at one time. Plus, Cyberpunk comes out, and they have all kinds of problems. We can talk about that. Spider-Man keeps coming out with stuff, and all you know. I mean, I don't know what to even talk about. There's so much stuff going on. And then in addition to that, today they have a rumor, it's just a rumor, about Firefly. And I'm going to talk about that. Let me see what the comments we have. Probably some people checking in. Shell says, hey guys, excited about all the news. We could talk for 12 hours on this news. And Jerry says, prayers and good thoughts for Stoney and his family. We all feel that way. He's probably heard that 100 million times. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to start with this is a rumor, folks, just a rumor, but it had such a reaction on the Task Force Geek Facebook group that I had to address it here. We got to talk about it. The Giant Freakin Robot source says that the Disney is in early development on a Firefly reboot. The new show would start the story of Captain Mal Reynolds and his crew aboard the Serenity over from scratch, with an aim to make this a long-running series on Disney Plus. There's a twist here, and the twist is that they see the show as an ideal family-friendly programming for Disney Plus. That source tells them that they're planning to target it more as a PG adventure instead of PG-13, and maybe get a little bit away from the way that Joss Whedon originally intended. Let me emphasize one more time before we get into this. This is insanely in the rumor category. Although, it's also something that makes sense if you're trying to get people to subscribe to Disney Plus. This is something besides Star Wars and Marvel that could get people excited. They own this property now. I don't know why you would sit on it. So anyway, I want to just throw out maybe a few thoughts. What do you think that Disney Plus should run a Firefly series? What are your thoughts? Do you think that should happen? Do you think that Joss Whedon should be or will be involved in this thing? And finally, how do you feel about them starting it from scratch? Is that even a possibility, or are you going to get the old crowd in there? So on that first, I'm going to go to Sean.
I'm chucking this up to just fan idol theory. I can't imagine this actually happening. First off, whenever Fox canceled Firefly, they gave all the rights back to Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon then took that, farmed it out to see if he had any buyers. Universal Studios bid for a single movie, which was Serenity. As far as I know, Fox did not have the rights to Firefly, other than possibly syndication of the show that had already been filmed. I don't think that they have the rights to make further Firefly. With that being said, if they want to soften it by any means, that's stupid. If they want to make it more family friendly, stop. Don't fix it. If you want it, run it. If you don't, leave it alone. If Joss Whedon is involved, which if you're doing Firefly, kind of has to be. I don't know to what extent, but you have to have Joss involved in some manner. I mean, that he made that show. That's his show.
Yeah.
I've said for a long time now, it's only been 15, 20 years. I don't know how long it's been. You can't just pick up where you left off and keep moving. You would have to start over. And will anybody be interested if you start over? Because you're not going to have the family that you had in the original. And I just don't see it working. If if Disney is in possession of this property and they are working on it, stop trying to fix it. Just do it if you're going to do it. And I don't know how it's going to work with a new cast. That seems silly to me. Now, if they want to do a Star Wars version of Firefly, rock and roll, that'd be fantastic. Because obviously, Firefly was just a step off of a Han Solo miniseries. Go for it. But
Shell says if they're going to take away the original feel of Firefly, it will bomb. It was perfect the way it was. This sounds like a false rumor.
that's what I'm thinking.
Gary mentions that space westerns are kind of big right now. There's a little thing they call the Mandalorian,
Yeah.
which is very much, there's definitely some influence there. Walt, I'm going to go to you next.
As I said, there's been such a big, huge, as we like to say, data dump over the last few days.
Can we talk about your hat?
Yeah,
It's a koala.
it's a koala. I got this.
It's pretty epic.
I got this a few years ago.
This may be bigger than the Disney data dump.
I got this a few years ago. It came in I forgot. It's at a convention, and they call them a surprise box or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, although the surprise boxes are nowhere near as good as they were the year that I got this, but it was a $30 box full of stuff, which totaled to about $180. And this hat was one of the things that was in there. And you guys up there in Oklahoma and all that snow, you are missing one of the warmest hats I have ever put on the top of my head.
Of that, I have no doubt.
Those Russian Cossack hats have nothing on your koala hat.
They have nothing on this koala hat. Nothing at all.
All right. Tell us what you think about Firefly.
Firefly, the only way that they're going to make that family friendly is if it's animated.
Mm-hmm.
And it's done Disney style. And
I didn't think about animated. That would be a good one.
That's the only way I can think of it being family friendly. And if it were animated, I would watch it.
That's
I
an
would
interesting thought.
totally watch an animated Firefly. I mean, they'd have to change up some of the characters somehow, some way, just a little bit. But that's one thing that's lacking in as far as cartoons for kids is the adventure style cartoon.
Sure.
There's not much of it.
It's not based on toys.
Yeah, there's not much of it. I mean, you look at Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network gave up every one of their adventure shows, every one of them.
Yes, they did.
And now they're struggling a little bit. When you look at what's happening at AT&T with AT&T and Warner Brothers, they're struggling. It's because they got rid of their adventure shows for kids on their animated
I agree. Yeah, I
network. But yeah, again, like I said, you can't do Firefly live action and make it PG. It's just not going to work. Although I would be surprised if it did.
Hey, Marianne.
As I like to say, prove me wrong. Basically,
right?
Prove me wrong.
Stoney, what do you think?
I am a massive Firefly fan.
Yeah.
I own Serenity probably 3 or 4 different ways. I'll give my money to anything you slap Firefly on, and I have. They started off with started making an online game, and I helped fund that. And I bought all the bonus stuff at the beginning, and then it went defunct, and I lost all my money. So, but and they brought back some of the cast to do voice acting and stuff. I was so excited, and then it just tanked. But I try really hard not to be negative about things, even if I don't think it's a good idea. I try to take a wait and see approach to stuff, but I really think a reboot would be a bad idea. I think that if you were going to do something, it's a huge verse. Do something else with some other characters so that you could have the potential to bring in some old characters every once in a while to make cameos or further the story a bit, do something else. And but you'd have to have at least Joss, if not some of the other cast, involved some way, shape, or form in order to please old fans, or it just wouldn't work no matter what you did. A reboot or even a cartoon, which I think is a great idea. But you'd have to bring in Joss and at least some of the cast in some way, shape, or form in order to please old fans, or it just wouldn't work.
Joss did some amazing stuff with the dialogue.
Oh yeah,
that you don't get in other shows. And if you don't have him putting that hook into it, it's not going to work. You're killing it. You're killing it before you let it loose.
For sure. I've listened to some of the audio commentary for, I believe it was Serenity. It may have been the TV show. I've listened to them both. But and listening to the guy who played Jane, Adam Baldwin, speak about the dialogue and how sometimes he had to take the script back to Joss and go, say this line because it's not.
How do I say this?
Yeah, how do I say this? How does this come across? Because when I say it, it sounds dumb. And so, but the inflections that Joss puts on things and the emphasis he puts in certain areas makes it work. And he just thought that was brilliant. So, definitely you'd have to have Joss come in and at least help the dialogue.
Yeah, he's a different dialogue writer than, say, George Lucas, who doesn't write anything that sounds like human speech, where Joss has a good way of, creating stuff that is, clever and eloquent and funny. Ken says no Firefly reboot with Nathan. You're saying that he shouldn't be in it or he won't be in it? That doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Don't you be talking about Nathan Fillion.
I know. What are you talking about? There's a lot to unpack on this rumor because there's a lot of elements to it. Sean mentioned whether they have the rights and stuff. I think that Joss is going through a particular period of time. I mean, he had an HBO Max series that he was just removed from. There's some issues with, I don't know. I really don't know exactly what it is, but he's having some Me Too moments or something, which is going to cause some trouble for him. He may emerge from that or he may not. The guy is talented, whatever his extracurricular activities are. I can't imagine doing Firefly without Joss. I would almost say that if you don't have him involved as a executive producer or maybe a writer or something, that I don't know. I don't think you have Firefly. I just don't think that there's any way to do that appropriately. I don't know about if you're talking about starting over from scratch. Does that mean you don't have the original cast members? Are you talking about a family-friendly version where it's those characters, but we're going to get rid of Inara because she's a lady of the night or whatever? Then again, you're not doing Firefly. Then you're doing something else entirely different, and that doesn't sound interesting to me at all. I think it's I came onto Firefly late. I take that back. I watched the first episode of Firefly when it aired, and I wondered what the hell happened to this. Why are they not telling me about the history of this world and explaining to me who these characters are and what's going on? The people who are writing this are idiots. Well, as it turns out, it was actually Fox executives that were idiots because they aired the episode out of order because they felt like they should get to the action earlier. Fox executives were really abysmal. So in any case, I never looked at Firefly again until several years later when I got a copy of the whole series on DVD, and I watched it, and then I was shocked and upset that they canceled that thing maybe 5 or 6 years earlier. So I caught up to everyone else a little late. I think that series never got its chance to take off properly, and it sounds a lot like a lot like they're going to prevent this thing from getting launched correctly again if they're going to put a bunch of ridiculous caveats on it and start it over from scratch. Every time that these cast members have been asked, every one of them have been asked about doing a Firefly reunion, starting the thing over again, they have all universally said, yes, let's do this. And that's obviously what all of the fans want. There's absolutely no question about that. All of the people are not too old to be playing these characters. If you feel like you need 3 or 4 new characters, you can insert those characters in there as well. I think it's a good idea to do this. I'm not sure if I would rather see it run on Hulu for exactly the reasons why they're talking about. Because Hulu, you can kind of get away with whatever it is. It can be more adult. It's the same reason why I hope that if they do another Daredevil or another Jessica Jones or another Iron Fist, I hope those show up on Hulu as well, so that you don't have to, kidify everything. So those are my thoughts on that subject. We have some comments here. Michelle says, truth, Sean. Joss's dialogue just makes the script kind of live, makes you instantly love the characters. Yeah, Lady of the Night. I could. There were about 18 things that came to my mind right there, and I landed on Lady of the Night. So I want some kudos there. And
it was classy. I liked it.
Her story and the thought behind it was very important. Absolutely,
it was.
That was huge to making it a very interesting character study and putting, explaining what the world is like. It's not supposed to be like the utopian future of Star Trek. It's supposed to be like the 1800s, where this sort of thing, would be acceptable. Because you're back out on the frontier and stuff. That's the point of Firefly, folks. Firefly, folks.
Say that 5 times fast.
How about that? Does anyone else have any other thoughts on this subject before I get to the data dump?
I mean, I could go on for hours, so we should probably stop there.
Yeah, exactly. And, keep in mind, it's just a silly rumor, but everyone loves the idea of Firefly doing anything. So I had to it. So anyway, all right. Well, we're going to go on to the next thing. And here it comes.
Somebody's playing with the music.
God, I was kind of busy today, folks.
Did you get some free stuff?
I did not get some free stuff. I just made that shizzle.
Okay.
All right. Disney has announced that it will bring a lot of original content directly to the Disney Plus streaming service over the next few years. The company is bringing roughly 10 Marvel series, 10 Star Wars series, 15 Disney live action, Disney animation, and Pixar series, and 15 all new Disney live action, Disney animation, and Pixar features to Disney Plus. Altogether about 50 things. And honestly, since they wrote this article, they just talked about something called Legends today. They're still dribbling things out bit by bit. The commitment to launch so many shows directly on Disney Plus speaks to Disney's confidence in the service in the long term. Disney announced that Raya and the Last Dragon will debut on Disney Plus as a premiere access title the same day it hits theaters on March 5th, 2021. The company dipped its toes in launching directly on Disney Plus with the premiere of Mulan in September, and Disney's Soul is set to premiere on the service December 25th. And going up against Wonder Woman, which we could also talk about, but we're not going to today. The news also follows Warner Media's bombshell announcement that it would bring all of its 2021 films to streaming service. So, look, folks, everyone's all in on streaming stuff. So, look, I'm going to take these things kind of one at a time, and then kind of go around the board, and just kind of get your opinion on it. You can say whatever it is. If hopefully you guys. What I know that Sean and I watched all of the the videos and stuff. I mean, it's just insane how much stuff they came up with. And first, I want to talk about Loki, Disney's highly anticipated short series based on Tom Hiddleston's God of Mischief character. The show got a May 2021 release date, and so first, I'm going to go to Walt on that subject.
It's about time. Can I just breathe a sigh of relief? It's about time that we found out when that was going to be released.
Yeah, I mean,
I think I watched that trailer, that full trailer, 3 or 4 times
Yeah, I did
over the
too.
weekend,
I did too.
and not to pick out everything, just to watch it. You know, I still haven't watched it to where I'm like pausing it and going, is that? So,
Thank you, Ken.
but yeah, you
Hey,
can
Steve.
tell. What's up, Steve?
Look at that avatar, man. That is styling.
Yeah.
That is on target.
Nice.
Stay on target. Stay on target.
And it's obvious that Loki is basically setting up everything that's going to be happening in what's this phase? Is this phase 4 or phase 5?
Yeah, we are finally moving into phase 4.
I keep losing track. So, with all the announcements from the Spider-Man movies and whatnot, but this Loki series, I mean, that's just my first hand me a cigarette moment. Okay? So,
There's a few here.
and everybody knows that I don't smoke. So,
Right. Hey,
so that's really looking forward to it.
you don't smoke cigarettes, but you're still smoking.
I'm smoking.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
All right. Stoney, you're up, buddy.
I love Loki. He's my favorite Marvel character. I think that the kind of character he's been in the movies, he needed to be used less frequently to the strongest effect. But to give him his own show and to shift gears on the character, I think is brilliant. And I'm all in. I can't wait for the show. I want Loki everything. So
Loki, you want it to be the Marvel Loki universe.
that's right. Yeah.
You're not alone on that. Sean, what do you think?
Just based on the trailer, watching it multiple times, much like Walt, and trying to kind of figure out what all's going on here, it seems to me like Marvel's doing their own Doctor Who, utilizing Loki as our doctor, so to speak. It looks like they're going to bring him into the what is it, the they called it something, the time something,
TVA.
the TVA. They're bringing him. It looks to me like they're bringing him into the TVA as an agent, i.e., doctor, and we're going to see him hop around and intermix a lot of the various timelines and dimensional rifts that everybody keeps hoping that we're going to see. I think they're going to turn Loki into that vehicle to get us from point A to point B and intersect all of the upcoming MCU stuff.
Right.
Now you mentioned the TVA. Is that from the comic books? I didn't recognize it at all.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going to go with this. The TVA was established back in the 80s. It's not a new thing. It's been around for a long time. It was connected to Kang. Kang has been rumored. They have cast Kang. They have
Yes.
The agents of the TVA have gone up against Kang on a few occasions. So we are definitely getting a kind of behind the scenes effort on their time travel stuff. It definitely means that,
We're seeing the foundation here.
We are seeing them laying the foundation for the multiverse, for all of the different time travel stuff that's coming up, and also maybe a little bit of a character redo since Loki, the Loki we know and love is apparently gone. They're maybe going to rehabilitate Loki since we've shown that it can be done. We're maybe going to rehabilitate Loki through this while they show, this other universe where they're traveling through time and stuff. I think it's pretty cool. Who was the main guy? Oh, they had Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson,
Where
yeah.
did they come?
Yeah,
they
Owen
didn't
Wilson.
even make a big deal out of the fact that they had Owen Wilson, who was almost unrecognizable with that hair. He looks much older and kind of more distinguished and not so much like a surfer dude like he always does,
Yeah.
It is hard to merge Owen Wilson and distinguished.
I know. I mean,
Yeah.
I kind of he always delivered. He has a lot of charisma, I think, and I think that he's an interesting choice for this. Hey, you know, when you get that call from Marvel, you answer the phone.
I mean,
No matter who you are.
He did play a shot down fighter pilot at one point, so you know.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
and that was a fun role.
That was a fun role. It was a pretty good movie. In fact, I just watched that the other day. So
really?
yeah. So
is that Behind Enemy Lines?
That's it. With
wow.
With
Bruce
Willis.
Bruce Willis.
Yes.
Bruce Willis was tasked to pull him out.
That's right.
All right. Our next
It's
subject.
been a long time since I saw this.
It certainly has. Our next subject is What If? An animated series from Marvel Studios that features the voice acting cast of many Marvel Cinematic Universe stars. Also got a new trailer that offered a first look at the upcoming series. On that first, I'll go back around the deal. I'll go start with Sean.
What was that again? I was checking something.
Oh my gosh.
I'm doing stuff.
What if the animated series?
What if looked fantastic.
Boy, goodness.
You know, whenever they originally showed just the stills of What If, you're looking at the artwork going, I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know if this is going to be, you know, real jerky or whatever. To see the CGI that they're using and the quality of the animation that they're doing, man, I'm looking forward to this one. This is going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
And the mixture of the stories that they're doing with Agent Carter becoming Captain America, or actually
Captain
Britain.
Yeah.
And then you got T'Challa becoming Star-Lord and so on and so forth. I'm really looking forward to that.
Since you mentioned that, we talked about this briefly. Do you think that they got some audio from him, from Boseman, before he passed?
I think all the audio's been already recorded.
I think so too.
I think so
moving
too.
towards the animation and tightening
That's pretty
everything up.
special.
Yeah. I can promise you, watching that episode, I'm probably going to cry a lot.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow,
yeah,
that is
definitely.
brutal.
For sure.
That will probably be his last thing.
It's possible.
Yeah. Stoney, what do you think? Have you seen that trailer for What
I
If?
have, and it looks amazing. And I love What If stuff. I like taking
me
characters
too.
we know and love and doing wacky things with them, or put them in different positions. And so I'm all in. Like, I love the idea, and it looks amazing. So for sure.
It does. What do you think, man?
What If was always one of my favorite comic book series.
Me too.
I also like the fact that we have, Jeffrey Wright is the voice of the Watcher. He's the narrator
I
through every
didn't catch
episode.
that. Oh, I love that guy.
Jeffrey Wright is the voice of the Watcher.
Hello to Betty.
So
Hi, Mom.
hello, Betty. So yeah, Jeffrey Wright will be narrating.
I didn't catch that. Very
every
interesting.
episode. Yeah. So, I mean, What If is one of those things where you can just go off the rails if you want to do something totally stupid, you know, and put it in Marvel, like something totally comical. You can do it. Something totally dark and like dreary. You can put it in there. I mean, you can just go. I mean, that's just off the rails for that, you know. So I can't wait. You know, will we get to see what if the Spider-Man became the Punisher type thing? You know, all that type of stuff. Man, I mean, there's just so much to it, man. And and by the way, if you didn't know this, I don't know what episode it is, but Robert Downey Jr. is supposed to be doing Iron Man, Tony Stark, in one of these episodes.
Nice.
So, from what I understand, they're bringing back all the originals.
They're bringing back.
Reprising his role as Steve.
Early
Rogers.
on, they said they got all of the people to voice their characters, which is, I mean, that's how cool is that?
For sure.
That's just going to be great. I cannot wait to see What If.
And that's why I
Marion
think
says
they
she's
recorded all
excited.
this stuff early.
I think you're right.
Yeah, for sure.
Marion says she's excited for all the shows that they showed on there. Like Walt, I was always a big fan of What If. I mean, back when I was a kid, I got a kick out of them kind of mixing things up and screwing things around. It's always fun to see, you know, these people, you know, playing different roles and mixing things up I don't know. I always get a kick out of that. I was kind of reluctant on this because I thought they're going to have some janky leg animation on this thing. It's going to be out of someone's basement or something. That's usually the way they do animation. Oh no, it is tasty. It is tasty. The animation that they have on this, it is stylish. It is very cool. It looks awesome. I am very impressed with it. It looks a lot like the kind of a version of some of the computer animated stuff that we're getting from Netflix right now. Like that, what is that called? Shingen something or other. Or the
Kengan.
Ultraman.
Yeah.
The Ultraman stuff.
It's a lot smoother than the Ultraman stuff.
But so much smoother. Yeah, so much.
Yeah, it's
so much better. They are not cutting cost on this. They are really trying to make something special. They're getting all of the actors to come back for this. I am very excited about What If. I hope it really takes off and everyone watches it, so we get 10 seasons of this thing. I hope that it lands like Batman the Animated Series, and it kind of becomes its own thing.
Speaking of universes, What If style universes, it would be awesome to see the Marvel Mangaverse.
Oh, dude.
Oh, yeah.
The Mangaverse would be awesome.
Dude.
Although they'd probably call it the Animeverse, but the Mangaverse would be so awesome on What If. So we need to start a hashtag on that on Twitter or something.
I want them to bring back Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, we're supposedly.
I watched that.
Did you watch that?
I watched that 616 episode. Oh, it's like I want to see all of those. It looks.
I have seen all of those.
Have
that
you?
Show is awesome. Way back, I want to say nearly a decade ago.
Maxine.
Hey, Mom. I want to say about a decade ago, the Marvel website was streaming all those episodes.
Oh wow!
And they were subtitled and everything. And in fact, somewhere amongst my pile of junk, I have the first 3 episodes on a video cassette.
Nice.
So
very, very nice.
The theme song alone is worth it.
That was pretty. That was epic.
I was comparing that to the old Spider-Man series that we got on what is it, CBS or whatever?
CBS. Oh man.
Where it was clearly a dude on a rope that was climbing up buildings and stuff. I mean, it was not so great.
Yeah,
but it's the time. It's what we had.
I know. I know. I mean, it's hard to look back at some of this stuff, but realizing that
I wish we had the Japanese one.
Yeah.
They were kind of doing some wilder stuff, and they were like legitimately climbing huge things.
They were doing some serious stunt work.
I mean, yes, they were going all out on this, and then also kind of merging, the crawling of Spider-Man with martial arts. I mean, it was pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It was Spider-Man in my book. It was Spider-Man.
It was pretty nice. Pretty nice. All right, so let's see. How about this? Figgy also announced 3 new series coming to Disney Plus. Ironheart, set to star Dominic Thorne, engineering protege Riri Williams. Armor Wars, which examines one of Tony Stark's biggest fears and stars Don Cheadle, who is reprising his role as Colonel James Rhodey Rhodes. And Secret Invasion, the previously rumored Nick Fury-led series that will see Samuel L. Jackson reprise his role as the S.H.I.E.L.D. director alongside Ben Mendelsohn's Skull shapeshifter Talos. No release dates for the new projects were announced. That's a lot to cover. I'm gonna put Stoney on the hot seat first.
So the Armor Wars show blew up on my Twitter. We were just having a conversation about how they underused Don Cheadle and War Machine. In general in the series and how everybody wanted more of that. And then literally hours later, this dropped, Armor Wars with War Machine, and people went nuts. So I'm excited for it, sure. Ironheart, my kids cheered when I told them about Ironheart. They're so excited about it. Yeah, like they really want this. And,
that says a lot.
It does, yeah. I wasn't even, I didn't even realize it was that important to them, but as soon as they heard it, they cheered.
Interesting.
And the third one, yeah, Sweet Secret Invasion sounds amazing. I love Samuel L. Jackson. I love his Nick Fury. I love Talos. So I'm all in. Like, let's do it.
Sean, what do you think, man?
Out of those, Secret Wars is probably Secret Wars. Yeah, Secret is probably the one thing that I'm really looking forward to.
Hey,
I
Ronnie.
remember the comics. I remember how the intro to that, I believe it was Spider-Woman, was found to be a Skrull, and then they go back through the history to find out
yeah.
that she had been a
That's
Skrull
a good
the
memory
entire
there, Sean.
time.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly we have this whole the curtain had been pulled back at that point.
Mhm.
And suddenly we're cast in this, half the universe could be a Skrull, you don't know, and then you're just kind of going through, oh my god, that series was just,
That was a great series.
it was a fantastic series because again, no one even contemplated it. No one gave it a thought. No one even thought the Skrulls were good enough to pull something like that off. It was suddenly like, oh, okay, this will be fun, and it was. I thought it was fantastic. I really did. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with that and how they're going to bring that forward, and also who is going to be a Skrull. Who
Yeah.
we now have
Yeah.
is going to turn out to be a Skrull,
Right.
and how that's going to play out, because you know somebody's a Skrull. You know somebody's already a Skrull.
Yep.
Somebody's a Skrull. Yeah.
Yep.
They're calling Chris Pratt right now, going, "Sorry, guy,
Wow.
you're going to be a Skrull." It's going to be amazing. It's going to throw everybody off. Fans of the MCU are going to literally crap their pants when it happens. When it happens,
They really could.
I think it's going to be phenomenal, and it's going to be one for the ages. What the Avengers did for the MCU, I think this could very well do for the Disney Plus streaming series. Oh yeah,
It does sound like a must watch event. What do you think, man?
Oh man. Let's see. Where do we start off again?
We got
The
Ironheart
Armor Wars.
and Armor Wars and Secret Wars.
So with Armor Wars, I recommend everybody find the Marvel Max series of what was it called? War Machines.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Where Shield had gotten War Machine Rhodey, and they reverse engineered a squadron of War Machine armor. And it's basically a series about a War Machine strike team.
Now, was that John Romita Jr., or am I conflating that with something?
You're conflating that with something else, because this Marvel Max series was all black and white. This is when Marvel was experimenting with adult-oriented comics.
Okay. Okay.
Back when you had Punisher Max and all this stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And the story was kind of sort of outside the regular Marvel universe, like most of those Max series were. It's a pretty good series. It's I recommend it if you can find it anywhere. I know it's in a trade paperback. My question is are they going to base it off of that? Because that would be a great story to base it off of. You could tone down the violence because it's super violent. I'm just let you know, it's super violent for a Marvel comic.
Yeah.
Plus, there's language, of course, but that and the Secret Wars. I'm looking forward to Ironheart. I think Ironheart is going to be a great show for the girls.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to me. I'm going to watch it as long as it's superhero. I don't care.
Right.
I don't care if the main character is a man or woman or a dog. Speaking of which, I would love to see an actual crypto series, like a good crypto series. But that's another tangent. Looking forward to Ironheart. Looking forward to Secret Wars. I think Secret Wars will be the Avengers of the Disney Plus series of all the Disney Plus series where it'll tie in, or not so much tie in, but it'll be the big, hey, this is the big, huge adventure series of all, of all the Disney Plus, and it'll, of course, everything affects everything, so it's all related. So can't wait. Can't wait.
Cool. I think that Sean covered what you can do with Secret Wars. I mean, I would like to think that maybe they're going to rope in a couple of the big characters, and maybe, like you say, make one of them a Skrull. That would be pretty heavy. It's also a way that you could bring back a character that didn't survive Endgame. For example, you'd say, "Oh, oops, the person who left us was a Super Skrull, and the original person is, off on a planet somewhere or whatever." I mean, it's certainly a way that you could bring back a fan favorite if you really want to. There's so much intrigue and so much that they could do with Secret Wars. I mean, that was obviously a thing where, I mean, to be honest with you, I kind of, because we knew that we had the Skrulls and they've been kind of dancing around it with, S.H.I.E.L.D. and all that sort of stuff. I kind of figured that they would do with Secret Wars what they did with Civil War, where it would be like one of the huge crossover events, with the main universe. This may be something where they establish something and then like they drop the big bomb during one of the big movies or something. But whatever the case is, I am intrigued by Secret Wars series. It sounds really, really cool. And I sure do like that Skrull character. He was really good in what was it? Marvel. Miss Marvel. Captain Marvel.
Did I screw that up? Was it Secret Invasion or Secret Wars?
There's Secret Invasion.
There's 140 of those, man. There's also
Secret Invasion
too, and
there was Secret War.
They got plenty that and you're right. It's one of those things where it's like, who's the Skrull? Let's play. Now it's time to play Who's the Skrull? Yeah,
we've had, was it the original Secret Wars and its sequel, then we had another Secret Wars, and then we had the Secret War,
right?
Which was Fury's secret war, so
I want them to bring back New Tech Wars. The old Marvel UK stuff.
Speaking of taking a tangent, I read that. I liked that too. I liked a lot of the UK stuff, actually.
We need Death's Head.
Death's Head. I was just about to say.
Didn't we get some Death's Head news a week or two ago? Am I wrong on that?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything. The data dump was so huge.
Illustrated.
That's what it was. David Finch did an illustration of Death's Head.
Oh, that's what it is. Funny that's news.
Yeah. But
it's news in my book.
I wouldn't be surprised if we you know what? We do need a Death's Head. We do. We need a Death's Head.
They need to bring him into the MCU because he was just such a unique and interesting and just totally new type of character. I thought he was amazing. He looked cool. He had cool stories. It just
we just need the Marvel UK represent,
Yeah.
Wonder why they got rid of that.
I'd be for that. I don't know. It's a great, I mean, I guess they just started kind of Ken, I don't know if I can put that comment up here. Okay, I will say I'm also I read the some of the Riri Williams comics and I really enjoyed those. So, and I also think that it's a situation where it's great representation and it's not shoehorned into the Marvel universe. So good for you guys. I think that has a lot of potential, and I think it will bring in new fans, which is awesome. And obviously I'm going to watch that too. I'm just like Walt. Whatever they feed me, I'll give all of it a chance. Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I enjoyed the comic, so I think that's cool.
If it says Marvel or Star Wars, here's my money.
With the exception of Inhumans, they really haven't ripped us yet. So
yeah.
Inhumans was
swing and a miss.
Yeah, that was done by the guy who was causing all of the problems in Marvel and kept Feige from doing all of the, I can't remember his name, but he was keeping Feige from doing a lot of the things that he wanted to do. And when Feige started getting his success, Disney put that guy into the television universe and let Feige do his thing. Now that guy's been removed entirely. So anyway, now we're getting, a Riri Williams series. So, and I suspect that it will be done correctly. All right. Speaking of Feige, he also gave some casting updates on the already announced. I mean, are you guys sitting down? I mean, we already knew about this, but Moon Knight, She-Hulk, and Miss Marvel, notably Tatiana Maslany, will play the lead role in She-Hulk, with Mark Ruffalo's Bruce Banner also set to appear. We're going to get him in that. How cool is that? While Miss Marvel star Iman Vellani's Kamala Khan will appear in Captain Marvel 2. Feige noted that the shows will continue to interweave with the greater Marvel Cinematic Universe. Anyone want to take any of that? Moon Knight, She-Hulk, Miss Marvel.
Keep feed me.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
I mean,
I'll go to Walton first.
I'm a huge fan of all three of those characters.
Yeah. Come on, man.
I mean, I read the Ms. Marvel like the first few issues of that comic, and I was like, you know what? That's a really well written comic. And to have them go directly to make a TV series out of that, and one big thing that I'd like to say about that is when the comic first appeared, the first comic convention I went to after that comic was released, I swear I lost count of how many little girls were dressed up as Ms. Marvel.
Yeah.
All races.
Interesting.
All races. I mean, they were all dressed up as Ms. Marvel, and I was like, I think I need to read that. I said, if we've got these, these little girls.
Sean, can you bring up a Moon Knight illustration, please?
Sweet Jesus.
Ken.
I said, if we've got
Jesus.
I said, if we've got this many kids running around dressed up as Ms. Marvel,
yep,
it's something special.
That's good.
So, and then, getting right to She-Hulk. I mean, how long have we wanted to see a She-Hulk?
Forever.
Something,
I remember it being talked about back in the 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, people were anxious to see something with She-Hulk.
Yeah. So we're getting our She-Hulk. I'm looking forward to. I'm wondering how they're going to do the She-Hulk, because the John Byrne series was kind of comical and everything, and the one thing I would love to see in that is She-Hulk and Matt Murdock.
I was about to say the same thing. Like, I think she'd be really well, at least adjacently to the Matt Murdock and the Jessica Jones kind of world. Like,
right, because those two have to cross paths. For sure. I mean, they just have to cross paths. And then, of course, Moon Knight. That's my boy.
For Ken and anyone else who doesn't know who Moon Knight is, he's basically. He's kind of Batman. He's also a spy and like a detective, and he has issues. Backstory has improved greatly since 2000. I mean, they have put a lot into Moon Knight in the past 20 years, where to the point where he's kind of not Batman anymore. He's kind of a totally different thing and so much cooler. As a matter of fact, one of the big crossovers in the Marvel Comics universe was fed by Moon Knight this last time around. He was kind of going through and kicking the
crap out of everybody.
He was kicking the tail out of everyone here recently. So they have definitely elevated his star. Ken says it must have been a title he didn't read. And yes, Ken's pull list was insane. Who hasn't gone yet? Stoney?
Sure.
Let's have you, man.
Yeah, like all of these I'm excited about. Like Walt was saying, I think that at least she should be, at least a little bit in the same world with Daredevil and Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. I think that she would fit in well with the tone of those shows and that
certainly.
world. Yeah, I think that
She's a
you
lawyer,
almost-
right? Also,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that again, Moon Knight would fit in there really well, and I think I'm excited about Moon Knight being kind of a way to explore themes about mental health, and I think that could be exciting.
and that seems to be the direction they're going with that.
Yeah. Let's see, it was She-Hulk, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel.
Moon Knight,
Yeah,
She-Hulk,
I
Miss
mean,
Marvel.
my kids love that one too. They own the trades, and they're excited about it. And if they can get the representation right, then I think it'll only be a good thing. So,
Sean, what do you think, man?
I'm going to break here and say that I am not a fan of Ms. Marvel. Now, I'm an old man, and I don't read that comic. I didn't get into that character. I don't care about it. Not to say that it's a bad character, not to say that the stories aren't good, not to say that people don't latch onto that character. I'm sure God bless you if you do. I personally did not get into that character. Big hands, it freaks me out. Anyway, the big hands on a woman, it's just weird. Anyway,
it's embiggened hands.
old word. That doesn't make it any better
I
for
know
me.
you're the one.
But anyway, but everything else, I'm like Walt said earlier. Keep feeding me. I'm going to watch everything. I'm going to watch all of it.
Let me
Moon
go
Knight.
on.
Moon Knight, I'm
With the
exceptionally.
blister in the sun. Big hands, I know you're the one.
All right. Moon Knight, I'm really excited about. I remember one of the early comics that I actually got a bunch from a friend of mine. They were Defenders. It was a long run of Defenders, and Moon Knight at that time was an honorary, or actually, well, not honorary. He was one of the Defenders, along with the Hulk and Hellcat and the Dark Knight, I believe, and a couple other, really really awesome characters there.
Thanks,
Valkyrie.
Steve.
I'm really looking forward to how they portray him and how they share him in the universe, and like Stoney said, them exploring mental illness and the various topics that they can touch on and bring to light. I'm all for. Bring it on. I think that's going to be a wonderful stepping stone for not just the character itself, but for the medium to start going after some of these issues that no one really wants to talk about, and doing it with a character like Moon Knight that people can gravitate to in a heartbeat, because he's a wonderful character.
I have said many times that I'm a big fan of Moon Knight. We just talked about Oscar Isaac getting that role. I'm an Oscar Isaac fan. I think he's really cool. I think he's a good choice for this character. He's not a big guy, but he will be able to portray, if they are really getting into all of the kind of weirdness and all of the mental stuff with Moon Knight. He's a great choice for this, and he's definitely someone they could port into the main MCU and have him show up in a bunch of different things. I'm very excited about that. I think it's interesting that we're finally getting the She-Hulk. I don't know if we're actually going to get a animated version of her, or kind of how they're going to portray her or whatever. That's always been the big question. Anyway, I think that's pretty interesting. And of course, Miss Marvel is a perennial favorite amongst a younger crowd. And so I think that's awesome. You can't just play to all of us older types that have been around forever. You really do have to, you have to break the mold every so often, and you have to invite some new people into the universe to keep it growing and keep it interesting. And I think that character will definitely do that.
Yeah, I have to agree with Sean. Like, I didn't really dig the comic for myself, but I mean, we have to admit that I'm not the target audience, right?
Yeah.
I mean, but I found myself reading that first trade, rooting for the parents. Like, she gets in trouble for going out and superhero, and I'm like, that's right, ground her ass. Like, so
That's so
I was
true.
clearly not the target audience.
Someone was talking about Alvin and the Chipmunks, and they said that, when they were a kid, they were like, man, that, their dad is ridiculous. But then when they grew up, they're like, man, their dad's the only one who's got any sense. Their dad, their dad knows what's going on.
Right.
Trying to keep them out of trouble and tell them what to do.
That's right. Yeah.
It changes when you get a little older. Here's my favorite out of all of the things that we've talked about. Marvel Studios is working on a new Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special for Disney Plus, due out in 2022, that will be directed by James Gunn. They're actually getting him to do this. The special will film alongside the upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy. Volume 3, also directed by Gunn, is set for release in 2023. And there's also an I Am Groot, a series of short films starring Groot. I think I'll take this one first. We just talked about the Star Wars holiday special just the other day and how much fun it is. I think that James Gunn is absolutely 100% going to lean into that and make something insane. I think it is going to be like the Star Wars holiday special, 40 years later and on crack. I think it's just going to be, insane. And the fact that that they're doing it concurrently with the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, I just think that, they're going to rope all of those characters in there. We're actually going to get the actual people, and it's going to be sprinkled with all of the crazy sauce that James Gunn brings to everything. And I just can't wait for that holiday special.
Are they going to do an animated Art Carney and B. Arthur?
They might. I think that's just going to be crazy.
The first thing I thought about that was we're going to get a Christmas tree Groot.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Somehow, some way, there is going to be a Christmas tree decorated Groot.
That is definitely
by the end of this movie. So I'm just looking forward to it.
It goes right along with all of James Gunn's. Look, James Gunn, say what you will about that guy. He can do a Disney movie better than Disney can in many cases. The original Guardians of the Galaxy movie was about a family of misfits that found their way together. And the second one was even more so, where you have, Star-Lord has two fathers in that film. I mean, that's the Marvel movie that absolutely tears at my heart more than any other is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume Dos. And I'm telling you right now that he knows how to bring the schmaltz and the family aspect of that element of Disney movies or Disney television series to the big screen. And I think that he's going to really, he may make you cry in this holiday special. That's all I'm saying. Who has gone here? Stoney, what do you think?
I think I'm really excited for this holiday special. I love James Gunn. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. I think at the heart of it, what I would do anyway was kind of make it Guardians of the Galaxy meets the Peanuts Christmas special, where Star-Lord is trying to explain and teach everybody else what is Christmas.
The meaning of Christmas. That's perfect.
Yeah. And I think a Christmas tree Groot is
that's perfect. So perfect.
Yeah, I think trying to see what Drax does with Christmas and receiving gifts and giving gifts is gonna be hilarious. I'm just like.
And you're writing this thing, James Gunn should talk to you.
Yeah, hit me up, James. I'm a huge James Gunn fan. Like every time he goes on Twitter and asks, if I could do a movie in any universe, what would you want? I always say I need a James Gunn Metal Men. That's so.
Dude.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a
Right?
good
He's
that's
the
a good
guy to
choice.
do
Dude.
that.
That's a good choice.
Yep.
It's always on my mind. If I'm ever staring off into space, I'm thinking about James Gunn Metal Men. So I'm really excited about this, and I love it, and I think that it's a wacky, fun, just heartfelt idea that could really be something special. And I mean, like you said, he that second movie made me cry, like with Yondu,
man.
like
I was
Niagara Falls, Frankie.
Me
Angel.
too.
Like that. Like, oh man. So
I'm not too big to admit it.
I'm all in.
Yeah, I haven't. My dad passed this year. I haven't watched that film since. I don't know if I can take it, to be honest with you, because that is a big theme in that film.
Mm-hmm.
Sean, what do you think, man?
Stoney brought up Charlie Brown's Christmas, and I just want to mention that whenever I was old enough to have my own place, I refused to get a full big Christmas tree for my house. It had to be a Charlie Brown Christmas tree. For years, it had to be a Charlie Brown Christmas tree because the story was so profound to me as a kid and growing up. It made so much sense to me growing up. And if James Gunn can bring that kind of profoundness or that, which he is fully capable of doing, like everybody else has mentioned, I dare say my dad had passed the same year that Logan came out, and I don't remember if that was. Is that the year that Guardians 2 came out as well? I don't remember.
Possibly. It's around that time.
In any case, both those movies
2017, I'm going to guess.
Still feeling the pain of my dad, obviously. I was a blithering idiot on both of those. More so with Logan because it came out, I believe, in like March, and my dad passed in like January, the last day of January. So it was still real fresh for me.
Yeah.
But even in Guardians, yeah. So he clearly he can manipulate your emotions with the story, with a little musical hint, with
I can.
the performances from his actors and what have you. So I'm really looking forward to an actual holiday special. Anything that Gunn does, I'm pretty excited about. So
Yeah.
I mean, even whenever he worked on Trauma stuff, it stood apart from
where he cut his teeth.
Yeah.
If you say that James Gunn's involved, here's my money. Let's go. Let's do this.
I'm excited for his Suicide Squad too. So
Absolutely.
Hell yes.
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it looks wacky as hell. Like just every bit as crazy as Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's going to be. They say it's the most James Gunn of James Gunn movies.
It has King Shark in it, for God's sakes.
Yeah, he's bringing it in. What is it? A Dot Man or something?
Yeah.
Polka Dot Man.
Polka Dot Man?
Polka Dot Man. Yeah. Yeah.
Only James Gunn would make a film with Polka Dot Man.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, you take
people are going to drop like flies.
It's a great way to get rid of the D and C listers of your villains.
I believe one of the actors said, "Don't get attached."
Oh yeah.
So
I think it was John Cena.
it might have been. I don't remember. I don't remember who said it, but they said don't get attached, which excites me that much more.
Sure.
Yeah.
Jerry says, will there be a musical number? I guarantee you there will be a music number.
Yes.
And I would guess that there will be multiple music numbers in this.
Most likely, yeah.
Music is such a big part of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
It's and dancing
It's a character.
I mean, it's such a, it is absolutely, it is a character. It's a plot device.
Somebody's singing Lamb's Last Christmas. I can almost guarantee that.
Oh,
I was about to say the soundtrack they make from this is going to be.
Oh, you're so right.
It's going to be the Christmas soundtrack for a long time.
Yeah,
because remember, he got a Zune and it had so much more music on there that he hadn't heard.
Yeah, what did he have? Like 3,000 tracks or something?
Something like that. So, I mean,
Zune.
Yeah. So Zune. So which is already out of date. So
that is wonderful.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're talking it. We're probably going to get late 90s, early 2000s, 80s, even more. So,
Steve wants to know if Rocket's going to be the Christmas Vacation squirrel in the tree.
Probably.
Gigi says Rockadoodle or nothing. Jerry says that she's going to cry if Groot does the Charlie Brown Christmas tree thing. I feel that coming.
Yeah.
You're ready. Whatever the case is, it's going to be pretty good stuff. We are still not through the movies section. I'm just going to briefly go over all of this and let you guys.
We haven't even touched on Star Wars yet.
Yeah, I mean, just a Star Wars.
I know. I told you this is the first hour of 8 hours, folks. Feige confirmed that Black Panther 2 will not recast the late Chadwick Boseman.
Amen, brother.
As King T'Challa. The film set to be directed. It will be directed by Ryan Coogler again. Is still set for July 2022, 2 years away. The third Ant-Man film, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, is officially in development. Peyton Reed will return to direct, as will Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly, Michael Douglas, and Michelle Pfeiffer. Quantumania will also introduce Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror, one of Marvel's biggest villains. We got a lot of shakeup coming to the Marvel Universe, folks. Speaking of which, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness will tie in to both the upcoming WandaVision and Sony and Marvel's third Spider-Man movie. That Spider-Man movie is sounding more and more insane.
Mm-hmm.
Like way, way, way off the chain.
I'm still holding my breath until I see a trailer.
I know. And
Same here.
Nothing has been confirmed. It's like one of those things that, like, with Spider-Man, do you want to have this stuff confirmed, or do you want to go to the movie and see it? I mean, it's kind of...
At this point, being that every secret has been, well, not even every secret, but all these secrets have been...
It's been rumored. It's been thrown out there.
You might as well put it in you might as well put it in a trailer because everybody's already looking for it. If none of this had come out, if none of this had been revealed, then yes.
How could you really surprise people in this day and age? How could you really surprise people with, Andrew Garfield showing up, and Tobey Maguire and all the villains.
And it kind of falls into the when we first heard about what WandaVision was about and the next Doctor Strange sequel was going to be about, and then the fact that we've got the What If series and everything, it was kind of a done deal that, okay, there's going to be a lot of possibly multiverse action happening across the board. So I'm not that surprised. I'm surprised, yet I'm not that surprised that we're hearing all this stuff. So for me, it's just like, even if they confirmed or not confirmed, if they're in the movies or not, the big surprise is the story. Mm-hmm. What is the story that they're going to tell?
The story sounds like it's going to be insane.
Yeah, it's already sounding like it's going to be. It sounds like it's
really truly insane.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be like, hey, you're going to watch this. You're going to watch WandaVision, and you're going to go, wow, that blew my mind. And then you're going to watch the Doctor Strange sequel, and you're like, okay, that's stupid.
Still blowing my mind.
Yeah, and I don't mean stupid as in that's really dumb. I mean that's stupid. And then you're going to go into the next movie, and you're like, can this stupidity just keep going? And you're going to be like, yes, just feed me more. So
I think that if you look at the success of Into the Spider-Verse, and which I think you could make an argument for it being the best Marvel movie made. I think
best Spider-Man movie.
I mean, you could definitely say it's the best Spider-Man movie, but I mean,
I just watched that again the other day.
That is such a good movie. I think that
Yeah.
I think that Sony looks at that and they're like, let's bring that into the live action universe. Let's just open up the floodgates and make
That one
everything
almost made me
happen all at
cry.
once.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
if they do a Spider-Verse movie and they don't bring in Miles Morales, people will riot.
I think I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't
think
be
that
surprised.
The third Spider-Man movie will bring in Miles
They've got to.
Morales.
Yeah.
And they suggested him in the last movie, by the way.
Yeah. I got a feeling that's the one thing that they're not going to let us know about.
In the first movie, we met his uncle.
Right.
Exactly.
So we know that he's there.
He's
we
there.
know that it's going to happen.
He's there.
Yeah.
So I just completely lost my
That's okay, man.
That's fine.
It's okay.
fine.
We got
That's
plenty of
fine.
time. I didn't even get through my lead up to this thing. You guys can take whatever you want to, or we can just talk like we're doing here. The studio also confirmed that Benedict Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange will be appearing in the still unnamed Spider-Man sequel. So, I mean, they are mixing all of these things together. All of this, Ant-Man,
It's Fallout.
WandaVision, Spider-Man, the Doctor Strange movie. It's all connected. All of this stuff is connected. They are going
the Avengers.
just like the Avengers. This is this next round of stuff is absolutely the Avengers.
And you know what? And I just came to the realization, like how when the MCU first started, Iron Man was the key element. That now it's Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange.
facial hair.
There you go. It's the facial hair. Doctor Strange. But because when you think about it, Iron Man, Tony Stark, and Stephen Strange, their personalities are exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it makes sense. Let's have Doctor Strange be the glue that holds all this together. So that's just me. That's just my thought.
Yeah, well, we're hearing all these rumors and stuff. Keep in mind that occasionally Marvel is really, really good at keeping secrets. I mean, we've gotten some heavily edited and CGI'd.
They will go out of their way to make you think a certain thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So
And how much money did they spend on that swerve?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Money.
They animated the Hulk.
They animated the Hulk for a trailer,
Just
and he
to
wasn't in
swerve
there.
us.
Yeah.
Marvel.
Right. Yeah. I think we know
You
exactly what they
rascals.
want us to know. And I was having this conversation about this just earlier on Twitter. We feel like this is becoming such a bloated movie, even after Endgame, when they put so many characters in that movie.
Yeah.
So I really think that if they do it well
And pulled it
they
off.
could make this work. Yeah.
One of my thoughts is that if they're bringing in these, Tobey Maguire and Garfield and all these people, I'm curious if it's going to be just like a glimpse or just a moment. Like, okay, you've got Tobey fighting, because another rumor, Willem Dafoe reprising his role as Green Goblin.
Sandman.
Yeah.
Sandman. Yeah.
Dr. Octopus.
Are we going to see just those guys going at it for a couple of minutes and then they hop through a portal and now it's Andrew Garfield
with Paul
fighting
Giamatti,
Electro.
Rhino.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you not bring him back?
I mean, it could be like the CW's Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Right.
Just have little brief cameos, and
Right.
those little brief cameos could be like the Flash cameo from the Justice League.
Yeah.
Of all those cameos,
Yeah.
that one was the best one.
Yeah.
Dude,
I mean-
I actually yelled. I yelled on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did too.
I mean,
It's crazy.
we can be so easy to please. You just need to give us a couple of minutes.
So true.
And,
It's
and make
just a
it
nugget.
work.
It's
Yeah,
so
like-
true.
And we'll eat it up. Like,
just a nugget. It like you said, it could just be a portal, and they're looking in the portal. There's explaining the multiverse, and there's all these portals like, oh look,
Right.
there's the Tobey Maguire and blah blah blah.
Uh-huh.
Da, da, da. I'd be, it'd be even wilder if they do Miles Morales, and it's the Sony animated version in the portal.
Dude,
I
I'm
mean, and
telling
it
you.
just looked like, just the
I'm
actual.
telling you.
I would be doing virtual somersaults in my seat.
Hey man, I'm telling you right there, literal crap in my pants.
Yeah. I mean, because
I would lose it. I would
Because-
lose it.
because if you haven't heard, the Miles Morales sequel, we were just talking about this earlier. Spider-Man, Spider-Man is going to be Spider-Man is going to be in the Miles Morales sequel.
Yeah.
So
Which
I'm
I'm
looking-
super excited about. That's another
I
thing
am
we
too,
haven't talked
because
about.
he was in the original comic story, so we got to have him in the sequel. So
You're right, Ken. We could literally do the next month on these things. Steve is patiently waiting for Rogue Squadron. It's coming. Mard Bliss asks for Stoney did the live streams cut into your beard grooming time?
He works
So-
around it.
We've been fighting the cove for
Right.
so long. I decided I needed to get ready for this, and I walk into the bathroom. I realized I hadn't shaved my face or my head since this started, and I looked like a mountain man. And so I actually did trim.
Maybe
up,
not a
and,
bad look.
It was.
You
It
might
was
go
bad.
mountain man.
So I actually did trim up just for this.
You had to
show.
trim up, man. Thank you. We appreciate that. Man.
That's why we
appreciate
appreciate
you.
you, man.
yeah,
That's right.
I mean, I got rid of all mine just before I made started making my appearances again. So yeah. Feel your pain, brother. Feel your pain.
I had
Jerry
to
is-
trim up over the weekend.
Jerry's already ready for that soundtrack from the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas.
We all
special.
are. I just hope there's no Mariah Carey on there.
So look, I I have a feeling he's going to go much older on these things.
I hope so.
Knowing it's probably going to be a little bit more classic type stuff. Maybe some David Bowie
Ooh, David Bowie and
with what's his name?
yeah,
Bing
that
Crosby.
one. Bing
Bing
Crosby.
Crosby. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That was great.
That's
Little
one of my
That makes me
favorites.
want to hear that right
Yeah.
now, man.
Yeah.
I buried the lead. Here's the lead. Finally, Marvel Studios is developing a Fantastic Four movie. It was announced.
Thank you.
How are they treating you now?
Mhm.
They treat me well.
So let's get into it. What's your fan casting for these roles?
Well,
Oh.
I think it's the same as every other human being on the face of the planet.
I've heard a couple that I like quite a bit.
There was what's his name who originally tried out for Captain America.
Yes,
John
John Krasinski.
Krasinski.
Krasinski. Right. Yeah.
That's
He's,
that's
If you
that's
don't
my
cast,
Richie.
he's such a good choice for that.
if you
role.
don't cast him for Reed Richards, you're an idiot.
That's
You're
my
an absolute
choice.
idiot.
That's my choice for Reed Richards.
Just put a little gray on the temples.
Yeah.
And Emily Blunt, who originally was going to play,
Captain Marvel.
no, she was originally going to
Wasn't
play
she in the
Black
running? for
Widow,
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
that's
right.
right.
Yeah,
That's
you're
right.
right.
and she couldn't. She had to back out because of a scheduling conflict with another
right.
project she was doing. She would obviously be a wonderful.
They have
Yeah,
some
yeah.
chemistry.
Yeah, it's they're kind of familiar with each other.
Yeah.
And based on what he's done with his directing, get John to direct it as well. Oh my
I'd
God.
be for that.
God, that would be fantastic.
I want the people.
Yeah.
I want the people who did the Venture Brothers to write it.
Well, if you're going to go that route, who did The Incredibles? Because let's be honest,
Or
The
that
Incredibles was a fantastic.
was
Or that-
Fantastic Four.
they're in the
And
Disney.
it was
They're in the
perfect.
Disney fold already.
Yeah.
So that works too. I can't remember that guy's name.
I want a true Doctor
Bird,
Doom.
something Bird,
Brad Bird.
Brad Bird.
Oh yeah.
Did he do the directing on The Incredibles?
Now I got to look it up.
Yeah, that's what I was about to do.
I mean, The Incredibles is Fantastic Four. So
It is.
yeah, that's
It is.
definitely it. I just
Yes, he
I just think the
directed
Venture
the
Brothers. I
Incredibles
think
and
the Venture
Incredibles 2.
Brothers really got that kind of mix of science and magic and craziness that makes for a great Fantastic Four deal that they really missed in the Fox versions. They really missed. Was it Josh Trask? That guy really missed the mark. That was such I'm not going to say that word, It was a bad thing.
I heard
that they did there.
I heard that there was a lot of studio influence too on that. For Josh Trank.
I said earlier that Fox executives are idiots.
Yeah.
From what I read,
were idiots.
Just what I read. I don't know how true it is because, internet.
Right.
But apparently Trank was trying to give the big double barrel middle finger to Fox. And they basically cut him loose on the Fantastic Four, and he was trying to screw that property over like nobody's business. That was literally his goal, to screw over that property, in essence, screwing over Fox. So if that be the case,
yeah, you did a good job. Yeah, excellent job.
Loving you, ass.
Excellent job.
So if that be the case, thumbs up, great job, did it, fantastic. So I don't really put a whole lot of faith in necessarily that. But
he was lined up to do the third Star Wars film.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Anyway,
you got to wonder how much he screwed himself there. Like,
right.
Or not, I'm sorry, not the third. I'm sorry. The guy who did, he was lined up to do a Star Wars film.
Okay.
If any of that is true, I'm more concerned with
Colin Trevorrow was lined up to do the third Star Wars film.
If Trank,
I can't believe I pulled that name out.
and I'm real curious about Trank's mental stability, if that be the case, because you're not only angering 20th Century Fox at that time, you're also screwing over all of the Marvel fans.
Right.
You are screwing over the people who maybe didn't know a whole lot about Fantastic Four and were coming into, a cool new superhero movie. And you're screwing up your own career. Because now,
when's the last time you heard the name Joss Trank?
I'm saying, at this point, he better hope he's got a hell of a Kickstarter, because he's not going to be able to get another movie.
He appreciates us mentioning him.
Yeah.
Thanks for the props, guys.
Yeah.
I hope he comes across something that just truly speaks to him, and he can put his whole heart into it, and wonderful things happen for the man. But stay the hell away from my MCU.
Yeah. Any of my superhero movies. I mean, even in DC, stay away from it, because
all of it.
Go
do something for Valiant.
He strikes me as being somebody that would work a lot better, or a lot easier with an independent production as opposed to a big studio.
Yeah,
project.
I agree with
that. What was that first one that he did? I just suddenly went blank.
I know which one you're talking about. Yeah. The three kids who find the stone that gives them superpowers. That was a great movie.
It was fantastic.
He did a lot with very little.
Yeah,
exactly.
That was a great.
He wasn't deconstructing it because it was all his.
Right. So as long as he's able to focus like that, I think he'll do amazing things. But you get a studio where he's got to get permission to do this, and he's got to clear the script with this person, and he's got to report to. No, just do your own thing. Do not go to work for a studio. Not that one would have you right now, but anyway.
All right, let's go to Star Wars. I want to point out that we are still talking about just information that was dumped from the Disney Investor Day. This is still the same. They talked about how nothing was happening in the Star Wars universe.
We're not even going to have time to go over the video game awards.
No, or Cyberpunk, or I mean, there's so much. There's so much that dropped.
This will be a 2-part episode.
I mean, seriously, there's just no way we could go on and on and on. But anyway, Disney not only announced that roughly 10 Star Wars series are 10 are coming to Disney Plus, but it also gave some early details about a few of those series and other Star Wars projects. Additionally, the final Indiana Jones is now in pre-production and will be. I propose that it's going to be called Indiana Jones Get Off My Lawn. And that will be released in July 2022.
But would Shia LaBeouf be in it?
Oh, I for some reason, I doubt it.
That's a shame.
So to start off, Disney Plus is getting 2 new Star Wars shows, both spinoffs of The Mandalorian, which is Rangers of the New Republic, and Ahsoka. The 3 shows are planned to feature crossovers in the future as well. So they're starting their own little Avengers thing on that. Let's go to Sean for those 2 series.
I said the moment that they announced that Ahsoka was going to be in The Mandalorian, I said, no. It's
I like
it's
that
not
attitude.
it's not a one and done.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't hire Rosario Dawson
Right.
for a guest appearance in some show.
Right.
Yeah.
So we knew that she was going to go and do her own thing. I hope she finds the headdress comfortable because she could be wearing it a lot.
Can we wear it a lot?
I think that with the popularity of The Mandalorian and how successful The Mandalorian has become, we're going to have a very unique, because let's face it, she's not a Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Not a Jedi.
Yeah.
She likes to play the gray area. So that's going to be, her ethics might be a little, any case, that's going to be fantastic. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be, I think, everything that the fans were lacking in the most recent trilogy that was released. I think it's going to give everybody exactly what they want from a Jedi in the Star Wars universe. I think it's going to be just a blast. It's going to be so much fun. I'm so excited. So excited.
Stoney, what do you think?
Yeah, so there's a little bit of controversy with Rosie Dawson and some allegations about her treatment of a specific trans person. But that aside, I think she makes a great Ahsoka. I really enjoyed her in The Mandalorian, and I think that if she can get that stuff worked out, then I am all aboard a TV show. Do we know much about this other one? The
Rangers
of the New Republic.
Gina Carano.
Yep, that's probably Gina Carano's new thing.
Right.
Actually, the issue with the trans issue is with Gina Carano and not
Rosario
Dawson.
Her too.
Oh,
Rosario is actually she was. I think it's been dropped, but she was in court over the way her family had treated somebody that worked for him. But Gina Carano as well. She's got some controversy with her as well. In fact, there's some theory that they kind of switched gears with Rangers, and that's why it's more of a team name rather than focused on that character. Is that they're trying to there may be some distancing happening there.
Right.
I don't know that. That's just a theory. But other than, we're assuming she's in it, right? But we don't actually know that. Do we know much about this? Other than
we don't. But if you're watching The Mandalorian, they're leaning in that direction pretty heavily.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know anything about any of this stuff, to be honest.
No,
So I'm looking forward to both of these shows. I have a feeling that the Ahsoka show is going to go where we have The Mandalorian is more like a spaghetti western.
Mm-hmm.
I got a feeling the Ahsoka show is going to go more
towards
Samurai.
Yeah, it's going to go more like the old Japanese samurai shows,
which is also in the Star Wars wheelhouse.
And I can't wait. I can't wait to see that. I've been a fan. I've been a fan of Rosario Dawson for a very long time.
Yep.
I so much want to see a Zatoichi style something.
I think you're probably going to get that.
Yeah.
Oh,
definitely.
Except she's not blind.
Well, that's fine.
I just love the fact that we'll get sword play that we've always wanted to see in some of these other Star Wars movies, other than the Clone Wars. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. The Rangers show sounds interesting. I want to know more about it. See where it's going to go. But I guess they're marshals. I guess it's going to be like a big posse thing. Let's get the posse together and round up the crew, and so we'll see.
I suddenly had the theme to Galaxy Rangers in my head.
I did too. Now as far as a space
I
western,
love that show.
Oh yeah,
that's the show that needs to be live action, and I'm gonna throw my hat into the pot to play the computer nerd because we have the same first name. So
all right.
Do you guys think they'll work in characters from Rebels into the Ahsoka show?
Oh yeah. I think in
I think you're going to see it all. My opinion is that Ahsoka is Dave Filoni's baby, and since Filoni is intimately involved with all of the animated series, I suspect that that's going to be his playground. I think that we're probably going to see all of those characters that we've been, that they can't shoehorn into the Mandalorian. And
what's his name? Who's playing Boba Fett? Will have two roles because he'll be playing Captain Rex. And if you watch Rebels, Captain Rex was it was established that Captain Rex was at the Battle of Endor.
Right.
So if you go back and you watch
That's kind of a new thing.
Return of the Jedi. If you go back and you watch Return of the Jedi, you'll see one of the old rebels running around, the old guy with the beard.
Yep.
That's Captain Rex.
That's right. I heard that. That's pretty cool.
When they tied that in, I was like, doing the old
kitty cat.
Doing the old kids from the Cosby from Fat Albert laughing in the background. Yeah. So
all right, I'm going to throw a few more things at you here. Star Wars: The Bad Batch, an animated series about the Bad Batch of clones. Speaking of from the Clone Wars, will debut exclusively on Disney Plus. Star Wars Andor, starring Rogue One's Diego Luna, is coming to Disney Plus in 2022. The Acolyte, a new Star Wars series helmed by Russian doll creator Leslie Headland, set in the High Republic era of the franchise, is coming to Disney Plus. What do you guys think about those? Any thoughts on any of those?
Sounds like the Acolyte is going to be Sith related to me.
It's also, I believe, Kathleen Kennedy's kind of last ditch Star Wars project. That's the Acolyte, I believe, is the female centric show. By gosh, like everything else, I wish it all the luck in the world.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're not going to force feed an agenda which will kill it. Don't do that. Just tell us good stories.
Yeah, just tell us
good stories.
You want female-centric series? Look no further than Ahsoka and the Rangers of the New Republic. Those have female leads.
Yeah.
Not shoehorned in.
Yeah.
Just absolutely part of the DNA of those shows.
But I'm excited. I'm hopeful
as can be about those.
Yeah. I mean, you can do that as long as you write the story well. Don't make it so blatantly obvious. Just write the story, write a good story, and you can get your point across. But if you just like, oh, this is what we're going to do, let's write a story around it, then it's not going to work.
You're coming at it from the wrong direction.
Yeah.
I like the idea of an Andor series. I thought that was a cool character. A spy series in Star Wars. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's have that. I don't know what that is, but let's have it. And it's also set during the era that I like. You're going to have some Imperial action there, and
that's the Rebels
old school stormtroopers. Let's have it.
Yeah, that's the whole Rebels. The whole Rebels universe right there. So
yep. Plenty of good stuff where you sneak into bases and do nefarious stuff. I love it. Let's have lots of that, going around and talking to people and whatever. More world building, folks. here was a big announcement. Hayden Christensen is returning as Darth Vader in Obi-Wan Kenobi. Are you guys for that? Against that?
I'm not against it.
You say bring it.
I've never been against Hayden Christensen.
Me either.
Hayden Christensen.
No, me neither.
I've seen him in other projects, and I think he's a good actor.
He's good.
He's very good.
He was very stiff and cardboard-like in the prequel series because that's how Lucas directed.
So was everyone else.
Yeah, that was a directing thing. Everybody gets mad at all the actors from those 3 movies. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, if you look at the movies story-wise, the stories were great. It's just the directing of the actors was just not
the directing
good.
and the dialogue. He had some
dialogue was brutal.
Yeah. And I'm gonna take some people off here, but the best dialogue in all 3 of the movies was Jar Jar. I'm sorry, that's the best dialogue in all 3 of the movies.
Wow,
best dialogue. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
You go moving past that. You have you have objectively amazing actors who all were terrible in those prequels. So, you know, if
Natalie Portman is an Oscar winner.
Natalie Portman won. I mean, you know, Samuel L. Jackson, Ewan McGregor, the guy from Taken. I can't.
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
I mean, these are great actors who were not great in that film. So, what is the common denominator there? Unfortunately, it's George Lucas.
It's the director,
who's obviously more of it. And I love George Lucas. More of an idea guy than he is a character director or a screen. You know, he needed someone to punch up a script to, and he needed a good producer. He needed someone like Steven Spielberg like someone that he trusted. You know, Francis Ford Coppola, someone that would come in there and go, "Hey, George, we need to change some of this stuff because I know you're making this for children." But
just watched the deal last night about the original Star Wars film, about how the way George had it, and then I believe it was Coppola. Was it? No, it was Brian De Palma, I believe, who went up and said, "George, knock it off. This is crap."
Yeah.
The editor took
Those
what he
guys
shot.
were all very close. Scorsese
took
Coppola.
what he shot, moved it around so that it actually made sense. He had a lot of help. On that.
Marshall Lucas.
Yeah.
Gary Kurtz.
Being that he had, you know, more money than the planet to do the prequels, and he was basically financing all of it out of his own pocket, he decided he was going to do whatever he wanted to do, and he did. With all that aside, getting back to the topic, Hayden Christensen, yes, I think it would be fantastic to have him in there to reprise the role more as Anakin as opposed to Darth Vader, because obviously, who cares who's going to be in the costume?
Right,
you're going to have James Earl Jones doing the lines.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
If that be the case,
right?
If they're bringing Hayden back as Anakin, either in memories or in visions or
helmet off,
whatever. You know, by God, excellent. You know, let's do this. Give the guy a shot. Give the guy an actual shot.
Yeah.
At doing
redemption.
Character.
Yep.
He deserves it. Let's do this.
What was the science fiction movie he was in right after?
Jumper.
He was good in Jumper. Why didn't we get a Jumper sequel?
I'm still asking that question. Why haven't we had a Jumper sequel?
Or Push?
You know,
I loved Push.
Yeah.
But I didn't hear good things about Jumper. Like, I don't know if anybody that
I liked Jumper.
I liked it, but
I did too.
I heard bad things about it.
Yeah, they were
do
wrong.
Very well.
They were wrong.
They were wrong. They were wrong. But did
they
it
were
make
wrong.
money? I don't know.
I don't remember. I'll have to look that one up.
Yep, Jumper and Push. They both came out about the same time.
Around the same time.
We're pretty.
But you know, the Hayden stuff aside, I'm actually really excited for an Obi-Wan show. I think.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm really excited about that.
If they do that,
see all the crazy stuff that Obi-Wan did while just hanging out watching some kid grow up. In the
Right.
desert.
Yeah.
Right.
If they do that at the level of The Mandalorian, how awesome is that series going to be?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Obi-Wan Kenobi running around righting wrongs.
Are they
Sounds
going to
awesome.
show? Are
It,
they going to show the was it the Clone Wars or was it Rebels? It was Rebels.
it was
wasn't
Rebels. It was Rebels.
Are they going to have that scene?
I know what you're.
I
the
know
Darth,
it's scene- I
Darth
know
Maul
it-
scene.
I know what scene you're talking about. Yeah.
And
Do it live.
if so, dude, the animated, I welled up. I teared up.
It
on
was heavy.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, it
very
was
heavy.
And,
So I can't
yeah,
even imagine if they do that live action.
and very
Uh,
much in the, very much. Anyway, I lost my thought.
I see. This is the way I envision an Obi-Wan series. And Steve, if you're still watching, you may agree with me on this. The Equalizer.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
I
that
see-
would be cool.
Yeah, I see him as like as playing like the Equalizer character, and I'm talking about.
Someone puts an ad in the Tatooine Gazette.
Well, no. I'm not even talking about the. I'm not even talking about the TV series. I'm talking about the recent movies.
Oh yeah,
Equalizer,
Which-
the
those are
Denzel
so
Washington,
good.
and those movies.
Those are so
I was
good.
like Denzel as the Equalizer, and then I watched
Yeah,
the
you
movies.
don't-
I was like, oh, that.
You just
Uh-huh.
don't know who you're
Awesome.
messing with there.
Yeah, you just don't know who you're messing with. Stop.
Yeah.
You know,
You know?
I'll be the first to admit, breaking off on a tangent. The whenever they announced Denzel for the Equalizer, I was totally, and I love Denzel. I was like, no, that's
I was the same
totally
way.
wrong.
I was the same way.
And I saw that movie and I said, holy crap,
Yeah.
this is awesome. Edward Woodward. Oh my god.
The original Equalizer.
Right.
I loved that show.
I did
would
too.
love
I
to
did
see. You're absolutely right. I would love to see that
That's
vein
Yeah.
for Obi-Wan.
That'd be a good
Yeah.
way to do it. I hope that they don't just keep him on Tatooine. I hope they get him off of there and let him explore the galaxy a little bit. Luke, 8-year-old Luke would be okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm sure he's sitting there going, "If I leave for a week, yeah, you'll be fine."
Yeah. I got a feeling we'd see. We'd
Gotta go
probably
find me
see.
some blue milk.
Yeah, I got a feeling we would probably see Katie Sackhoff's character because her character's sister and Obi-Wan had a thing, if you know what I mean.
Mhm.
So
Yes. Which was also a great storyline.
that was a great storyline. It was, yes.
Steve says that the original Equalizer's on Peacock. That might even be for free.
It is for free.
Peacock is free.
Some of it is. Oh, kitty
Up,
cat.
up. You're not spending. You're not
Photobombing.
You're not spending enough time. You're ignoring me.
We're also going to get a Star Wars Lando series. Anyone?
I'm fine. I'm fine with that.
I know that the premise of it is you got Billy D. Williams, who is telling stories of Lando from years past, which will be played by
Glover.
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover.
So I'm kind of digging that idea, but I'm kind of reserving my excitement for that. I want to make sure that they're going to do that decently,
Yeah.
because the idea sounds
Coming,
cool.
Steve, I promise.
It sounds cool on paper, but you know how they're actually going to illustrate that. I'm really curious.
I'm really excited about it. My oldest son is a big fan of the Han and Lando kind of world within Star Wars. There's a book called Scoundrels that he has just read till it fell apart, and then he got it on audio and he's listened to it several times, and so that's one of my favorite parts of Star Wars. I mean, I'd watch it, sure. I mean, even without all the big rebel and imperial politics or the Jedi stuff, just the smugglers and the scoundrels is fun. So
I see a lot of comedy element that could which there's an aspect of Star Wars that's currently missing in Star Wars is just a fun element, not so much like comical I want to see what some of the comical situations are in this world. So I think it would be perfect for that because he's a very flamboyant guy.
Yep. And Donald Glover is very good with comedy.
He's very good with comedy. So
I loved the Solo movie.
I did too.
I enjoyed it.
I did too.
I loved it.
I did too.
I wish that we had gotten the original version of it though, instead of the retooled version, because it was going to be done by the guys who ended up doing Into the Spider-Verse. If we had gotten the original Solo version, which would have been a lot of jokes and a lot of crazy stuff, I think it would have been superior. But
sure.
It would have been what Walt's talking about there. Okay,
Yeah.
Steve is going to explode if we do not get to this. So
Do not explode.
Steve is calling it. Let's go rogue. Wonder Woman's 1984's Patty Jenkins will be directing the next Star Wars movie, which is Rogue Squadron, due out in December 2023. We got 3 years until that comes out. All right, let's get into it. Who wants to take that?
Before we talk about this movie, we need to talk about Wonder Woman 84, right?
Sure. That's coming out in a week.
No.
Coming out. Yeah, Steve's going to die.
Yeah.
That's coming out in a week, which is kind of a big deal.
I think I hear Steve screaming at us now.
Oh,
he's doing the Darth Vader. No.
And the first movie is making its Cartoon Network debut this weekend too. So
how about that?
So
let's talk about that for 44 minutes.
Yeah.
There it is.
No.
All right, Rogue Squadron, folks.
I saw a teaser. I saw a teaser for this the other day, and even though they didn't really show a whole lot, Patty Jenkins was able to kind of describe her vision for this show.
What'd she say? Good.
And what it comes down to is her father was a combat pilot in the Vietnam War.
Oh.
And he unfortunately did not make it back. But that personality that she grew up with, that person, the being around planes, being around fighter planes and all of this stuff really excited her path in life. I believe she explained it. And so this is kind of the I want to say she described it as this is the project she's always wanted to make with a different skin on it.
Wow.
Basically.
I'm even more excited about it now since you said that.
Yeah, same here.
She's been wanting to kind of capture that whole fighter jet, Top Gun type of thing. And she just never found the project. And then this came along and it's like, oh wait. Wait 1 minute. So she's going to throw herself into this all the way, I believe. And if again,
so cool.
From the teaser that she released, if anything is to be believed from that, I think this is going to be just amazing. I think she's really going to. Yeah, I mean, we've seen Wonder Woman, we've seen the action that's going to be in Wonder Woman 84. Obviously, she's got a pretty good eye for this. So I think with her being able to personalize it and just sink her teeth into a project like this, I think it's going to be fantastic. And I'm, dogfighting X-Wings and
oh my God.
Who doesn't want to watch
oh my God.
2.5 hours? I mean,
right.
A story? Do we need a story? We just need planes shooting at each other.
Yeah, that's all we need.
Just tons and tons of. I mean, that's going to be the whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think, man?
Well, me. My two things are as far as like video gaming are driving sims and flight sims. And so, and in fact, being in Oklahoma City, that's fighter towns, you could say.
Mm-hmm.
And I grew up just 4 miles away from Tinker Air Force Base. So, I'm looking forward to this. And you guys have seen some of my posts.
You're always sharing stuff about
being at the airport
about air shows and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I am
think-
so looking forward to this. And you know, and Steve will attest to this, because Steve will attest to this, that me and him both have been to air shows together, and Steve is an aviation photographer on the side of everything else.
Oh,
So by the way, amazing photos. Right. So amazing photos by Steve, by the way. If should he ever share them on Task Force Geek.
Oh, cool.
Hint.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always been a fan of fighter pilots. I made my dad take me to go see the original Midway movie, which he fell asleep in.
Oh, no.
And
we just watched that again. We watched that recently.
Like
the
you
original,
know,
that.
original, or the one that just came out?
the original. Yeah, the
Charlton
original.
Heston.
Charlton Heston. My dad fell asleep in that, not me. I was awake for that whole thing.
That movie held up quite well, I thought.
You know, all these, you know, you have Top Gun,
Mhm.
you know, Red Tails, which is also Lucasfilm.
Iron Eagle.
Yep.
No.
Come on, Louis Gossett Jr., man.
I will binge watch every TV episode of Airwolf before I watch
Amen.
Iron Eagle. You know, Black Sheep Squadron.
Oh, Black Sheep Squadron.
You know,
I think that's what we're going to get.
yeah,
I think we're going to get Black Sheep.
Yeah,
Black Sheep.
I'm a huge fan of watching the old World War II movies of fighter pilots. You know, 12 O'Clock High.
Mhm.
You know, all those movies. I love them all. So I'm really looking forward to seeing a Star Wars version of the fighter pilot, the dog fighting in general.
Oh,
you know,
man. Yeah.
Just a quick trivia note, if nobody knew this before, whenever ILM first shot the dogfighting in the original Star Wars movie, Lucas saw the dailies and said, "What is this crap?" And what he did was he edited together World War II dogfights into a combat stream, sent it to ILM, and said, "Shoot that!"
Like actual footage. Yeah.
yeah.
And that's what they used for the basis of the dogfights for the trench run and whatnot in the original Star Wars movie. And of course, oh,
Right.
wonderful.
Yes.
So
Steve's already running short on one of our rest.
he's going to
Stoney, what do you think? That's right.
You know, I'm not usually a big military guy. War movies, military stuff doesn't usually excite me, but you slap a sci-fi skin on it or a fantasy skin, and I'll eat it up for days. So, yeah, I like Patty Jenkins. I like Star Wars. And so, sure.
Yeah. I think that it's going to be, from what I hear, the spiritual successor to Rogue One, which was a super great, gritty, interesting film with characters that we didn't know. I mean, they didn't lay heavily on the established characters. We had a whole new cast of people. I think we're going to get that again. I think we're going to get something that's a little bit more gritty. Sean backed that up with what Patty Jenkins is saying. She, am I correct that Patty Jenkins did the thing with Jeremy Renner where he was diffusing bombs?
Oh yeah.
Wasn't that her?
That was her.
Okay.
I think
that is a gritty military, movie.
I want to say she did that second Punisher movie too.
All right.
The one with not the one that came after Thomas Jane. That
War Machine.
Warzone.
Warzone. I think she did I think she directed Warzone too. I'm gonna have to look that up.
None of those are correct.
Okay.
All right.
She has Star Wars announced, Cleopatra, which is in pre-production, Wonder Woman, I Am the Night, Wonder Woman, Exposed, Betrayal, The Killing, some TV stuff, and that's Monster. Monster was her.
Monster. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Her first real big one. The one that did Oh crap! See, now I got to look all this stuff up. You people.
Wasn't Rogue Squadron what Luke Skywalker was in?
He
was no. Well,
he wound up being in the Squadron for Star Wars, but they never said that it was Rogue Squadron. They just said what did they say?
He was Red 5.
They just said Red Team sign in, but they were actually Rogue Squadron because Red 5 got shot down in Rogue Squadron.
The reason why I say that is, are we going to get to see Sebastian Stan as Luke Skywalker?
I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say no.
The fans would love it.
I think the more that they steer clear of...
That's right, Steve. In Empire, he was in Rogue Squadron. Luke was in Rogue Squadron.
If I think the furthest that they steer from the cast of, or the characters of the...
Cherie says nope.
Original trilogy, the sequels, the prequels, as long as they stay away from those people, let them be over there. You can reference them, you can talk about them, just don't involve them.
I would like to see Wedge, though.
Wedge is fine because Wedge is a secondary character.
Yeah,
he's kind of.
You're going to have to recast him, though, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't. That's fine.
Way too old for the.
I don't care.
Way too old for the.
We have Wedge. I don't care.
He didn't even appear in his first appearance in Star Wars. They got some other Mick and then dubbed over him. I mean,
so
could they do cameos? I mean, like we had a small scene with Leia.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like,
of course.
Well,
I don't think that was terrible.
And Wedge did make a cameo in episode 9.
Yes,
he is in there. So,
yep.
I mean, just the fact
Steve
that
is ready for this movie, folks.
I know. Just the fact that Wedge went from from the first Star Wars movie from episode 4 to 3, like the first one he was like kind of timid and afraid. The second one you could tell he was very brash and braggy. And then the third one he's like, I'm just cool, calm, collective. I'm a badass. Don't F with me. So I would love to see the continuation of that. I'm a badass. Don't F with me, Wedge, or at least just a glimpse of him.
Catherine Bigelow did the Hurt Locker.
Catherine Bigelow,
okay.
Yeah,
who is also the ex-wife of James Cameron.
Right.
And what was the other thing we were talking about?
What was the movie that she directed?
Lexi Alexander directed.
What was the movie she directed that was a cyberpunk movie?
Was that Mute?
No.
On Netflix?
No. Wow. It was in the 90s. I think it was produced by James Cameron. And I can't find that thing. It does not exist.
It exists somewhere.
It's a deal where you can record your dreams or something. They had like little cassette tapes. And what's the name of that? Someone out there, help us. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
You said this was Patty Jenkins?
Yeah.
No, Bigelow.
Oh, Bigelow.
Yeah, because that had.
Yes, it did. Yeah. Whose name I also can't remember. Let me throw this out while Sean is thinking, and hopefully someone can do a quick web search. Disney also discussed.
I got you covered on that website.
All right. Go
right
ahead.
There.
Before I throw this out there. Oh, you're doing the web search. Disney also discussed the untitled Taika Waititi Star Wars movie, first announced in May, that is apparently already in development. We don't know anything about it.
Maybe that's our Star Wars comedy.
I think for sure it's Star Wars comedy.
Which one?
The Taika Waititi Star Wars movie. I don't know what it is.
No, I don't think
it's got to be humorous.
But it almost has to be some comedy
because it's Taika.
Yeah,
I've loved everything I've seen by him. So I'm all in on that.
He's so awesome.
Have you seen Jojo Rabbit?
Yes.
Twice.
Loved it.
That thing
loved
was
it.
Dark.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
and funny.
But dark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very dark. Very dark.
That took a turn I was not ready for.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
did. It did.
I mean, you're talking about Nazis. How funny can that be? Hogan's
Right.
hero.
Yeah.
Right.
But
right?
oh my god, that took a dark turn. I was not
Mhm.
ready for.
Walt, do you have an update?
Good movie.
Don't know.
Was Catherine
Strange
Bigelow
Days.
not the Strange Days?
And let's not forget her other fantastic movie, genre
Strange
movie, Near Dark.
Days.
That's
Dear
it.
Dark was good.
Strange Days. You're right. Yeah.
Strange
Yeah,
Days.
yeah.
Please tell me why I cannot stream Strange Days,
Yeah.
or why I can't find either a DVD or a Blu-ray on that. Oh,
That
here-
was
Russell came in just right after we figured it out there. There's about a minute delay on this thing, and he probably had it before us.
Did
that was Angela Bassett's big debut. I remember that, and that's when everybody was like, Angela Bassett as Storm. Let's have it.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, I want to know why I can't watch that movie. I'd really like to see it again.
what was the studio? Was it Carol Co. that did that?
I don't know. I mean, that's way out.
It was written by probably so, because it was written by Cameron, and
Of course it was.
yeah, James Cameron wrote the story and the screenplay. So I'm guessing it was Carol Cole.
Because I know that all of their properties got farmed out to everything whenever they went bankrupt.
Yeah.
So God only knows where that movie's at.
I could go on and on this thing. There's one other thing that I want to mention that was mentioned during this, the Investor Day deal that I have to mention. Noah Hawley, showrunner of Fargo and Legion, will be making a new series based on the Alien movies for FX and Hulu. There's no release date announced yet. What are your thoughts on Noah Hawley's Alien series?
Like I keep saying, keep feeding me more.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, are you kidding me? That guy is really talented.
From what I'm hearing about
everything
Fargo,
he touches turns to gold.
From what I'm hearing about Fargo right now, with Chris Rock being the bad guy in Fargo, and everybody saying Chris Rock has just set himself up for an Emmy.
I've heard that too. I've heard that too.
I'm interested, Yeah, I mean, like I said, I can't get enough of it. I mean, if it's good, by all means, give it to me, So
if you told me they were going to do an Alien series, I would be excited. But this guy doing an Alien series, I'm blown away. I am very excited about. I mean, this could be the reset that we're looking for on Alien.
Yeah,
it could do for Alien what The Mandalorian did for Star Wars.
Agreed.
I have been, and if anybody knows me, they know this. I have been an Alien fan since the original film. To be quite frank, I was not even a huge fan of the film when it first came out. I think I've told the story once before. My dad had purchased the graphic novel of the original Alien for me, and I was blown away. I was blown away not only by the Walt Simonson's illustrations, but the story, the creativity of the creature, and the story, the characters, everything about it. I was just blown away. And so whenever I finally saw the movie compared to the graphic novel, I was kind of, oh, that's okay, that's fine. But I know, pathetic, right? Anyway, as time had gone on, and I was able to appreciate the movie more and more, it is my all-time favorite film, period, hands down. And I, even with the minor flaws, I dare you to try to pick them out. The minor flaws of that film, I still find that it is near perfect for me. Mm-hmm. And from that point, I thrust myself into the Alien franchise. The original artist, H.R. Giger, the writers, the illustrators, the concept designers, especially, Ron Cobb, Mobius, all of these people, I threw myself into it, and I was just, gobsmacked by the creativity that brought this thing together. As the movies progressed, obviously, with Cameron's interpretation, no more a horror film, more of an actioner. I was even more entranced. I know for a fact I went to see that one at the theater when it came out in '86, at least 15 times, if not more. It was the first VHS tape that I ever purchased. And for those that don't know, VHS tapes were expensive.
They were.
I bought that movie from a mom and pop store for $40.
Yep.
I ordered through that same mom and pop store a brand new one, which cost me $110. I worked at Sonic.
Even
know how much $110 are?
Those are
Sonic dollars.
Those are 80s numbers, folks.
Yeah,
80s those are numbers from the 80s.
And I threw down my money because I love that movie. I had both. Obviously, I had both of those throughout. I have Alien on multiple versions, Blu-ray, DVD. I still have the VHS. Multiple versions of the DVDs, the AVPs, all the stuff. I am all comics. I don't have all the comics, but I've read quite a few of them. Had a lot of the action figures. Those went up in a fire. Not my fault. They were in storage. Storage went anyway. Cry. You tell me that you're going to do a TV series if you can keep it true to the subject matter, true to the feel of the original movie. Give it to me. I will slurp that up like gravy. My only concern, my first concern, was that it's going to be here on Earth, which makes me kind of think back to the comics. There was an infestation here on Earth and a huge war involving Ripley, Hicks, Newt, so on and so forth. If they're going to go that route, let's do this.
Yeah.
I am more than excited for this. Can you tell?
You're like Steve waiting for Rogue Squadron.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Oh yes.
All right. Let's go. Let's get out of this, guys. We did it. We did it. Congratulations.
Hold on. You did not mention the one that I am almost
okay.
more
I
excited
did
about
skip some stuff. Go ahead, man.
Willow.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
The
Right,
Willow
yeah.
show.
Willow is definitely
With
coming. Go
Warwick
ahead.
Davis. That was
let's have it.
that was my jam when I was a kid. Like, I wanted to grow up to be that so bad. I'm so excited for this, and that's all. I just wanted to make sure that it was said.
No, that's
Are you-
cool. Also,
are you
Indiana
excited to-
Jones.
Are you excited to see Val Kilmer?
Absolutely, Val Kilmer today back in his role as Mad Mardigan. I just eat it up. I don't even care.
I wonder if he'll lose some weight. Well, he's supposed to be in the new Top Gun, so
Yeah.
he might be thinner now. I don't know.
I don't know. I saw him. I saw him from a distance last summer. So before,
Did he look bad?
I just say I had to do it. I'll just had to do a double take. So
I got you.
Yeah.
Ah, well,
All right.
hey.
yeah.
All right, we're moving on to On Blast.
I'm gonna have to come up with a little summer cruise rap for that one.
That no.
Steve wants a Val Kilmer cameo.
Yeah,
I believe he is going to be in it. I believe I read somewhere that he is going to be in it.
He is in it.
But
Now,
much
to what
like
extent, I don't know.
much like Scott, who, by the way, is on location in Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. He's doing some street interviews for Task Force Geek in Truth or Consequences. Walt loves the On Blast segment where he can talk about some of the things that he's been consuming or whatever. So I'm going to go to Walt first.
Okay, so the first you're going to be surprised because I don't have much today. So
All right. Wow. What?
Yeah, if I can
What?
remember where I put it. Anyway, hell, here it is, right here in front of me. I'm watching One Punch Man season 2.
Oh, cool. That's cool.
I love One Punch Man. If you haven't, if you've never watched One Punch Man, it's really, really good stuff for those of you who are wanting to venture into anime, Japanese animation. He's a guy who just likes to be a superhero for fun. Unfortunately, he's so powerful, it's over in one punch, and that really brings him down. So I do recommend it. It's a fun watch. I've never watched season 2. I've seen part of season 2, but not the whole thing. So it's my new thing. The other thing I did over the weekend, I binged watched Man in the High Castle on Amazon Prime, and I do believe that show deserved a 5th season.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they ended it in the 4th season, and it was the way that it ended. It was definitely a, hey, we're not renewing you, so let's wrap this up.
That's too bad.
But up until that point, it's a really good show. It doesn't get into the sci-fi aspect of it until the 3rd season. They hint at it the first 2 seasons. And then they go full blast with it the 3rd season, and then it starts getting really interesting the 4th season. But like I said, it really deserved a 5th season to really explore what happens in the toward the end of the 4th season, and they really didn't get that shot to do that. So, but other than that, I recommend it. If I were to rate it out of 5 stars, I give it a 3.5. Right. It could have gotten at least a 4.5 or 5 stars if they had given it one more season to flesh out that story. But Sean, that's all I have.
Did you have a point to make?
Was Rutger Hauer in that? I haven't seen it, so I'm not sure.
No. It's a season. Not Rutger Hauer, but I'm trying to think of all the names that are in there. But
I was going to say, because of his passing, maybe that had something to do with it.
Well, no, he wasn't in it. But there are a few. I
must be conflating it with something then.
Yeah, the guy who plays Martian Manhunter from Supergirl.
Oh, I like him.
He's in it. He doesn't come in it until the 4th season. Jason O'Mara is in it. And he doesn't come in till the 3rd season. But there's it. Like I said, it's a really good what if story. There's I think I can't remember his name. I think it's Joel De La Fuente from Space Above and Beyond is in it.
He plays Space Above and Beyond.
That's a show that I wish they would reboot. But yeah, it's I recommend it. It's just that the final episode is a bit disappointing because it's just wrapped up, and
that's too bad.
Yeah, so
it was one of those things that I know that was on the bubble, and I guess that the bubble burst.
yeah. It and again, it's a really good story. It's about multiverses, so.
I always had a thing for Alexa Davalos.
She's really good in this series. She's really, really, really good in this series. But like I said, it just needed a 5th season.
Stoney, what's your on blast?
Recently, I introduced my oldest daughter to some of the animes that I started watching when I was a kid. We watched the 2 Vampire Hunter D movies.
Nice.
Yes.
Princess Mononoke.
Oh,
nice. Galaxy Rangers.
Oh my God. We just talked about that.
I know, right? We were having a conversation about anime and how I generally can't stand most anime nowadays, and I was like, because this is what I think of when I think of anime. And
Right.
so when you're watching this, that's not my jam. So I was having to show her it was a mind blowing experience for her. Like there was lots of what?
Yeah.
And then outside of that, as my kids emerge from quarantine, we're finishing up. We actually just finished up Gilmore Girls. I can't tell you what it is about this show. Most shows like this I hate. I absolutely love Gilmore Girls.
That's all right, man.
And we'll probably start the Netflix A Year in the Life in the next couple of days. So
You know what? You are not the first person to mention Gilmore Girls on Task Force Geek. Let me just say that. I'm not sure who it was. It was probably Scott.
I remember watching that when it first came out. It was a good show. It was a very good show.
Never
Stoney,
watched it.
Have you seen, speaking of like current anime stuff, have you seen Steins Gate?
Mm-mm.
You might check that out.
All right.
It's a little kind of a time travel thing. It's got some alternate universe.
I'm definitely
stuff. Very
open to it.
And another show that is also has Gate in the title. It's called Gate, and it's about it's about a gate that opens up in Japan.
I figured it's about a gate.
How about that? It's about a gate that opens up in Japan, in modern day Japan, and they go through this gate, and it opens up into a medieval world, like a medieval fantasy world, like Dungeons and Dragons. And they take modern military units, and they fight dragons, and there's magic and all kinds of. It's awesome. It's really awesome.
That's right up my wheelhouse, right there.
It is good stuff. It's good stuff.
I'll
So anyway,
definitely check it out.
There's a couple of modern anime things that maybe might be a little bit more like what you used to think.
Sure. Yeah.
And you might want to introduce them to if you have Amazon Prime, the Star Blazers reboot.
Star Blazer.
Oh, I haven't seen that either. I've tried Cowboy Bebop, and I'll watch a couple of episodes and then I'll fall off. Like, I want to love it so bad, and there are just things that tonally, I think maybe it's dubbed.
It's worth your time.
Yeah, it's worth the time.
Okay.
If you can't get into Cowboy Bebop, definitely attempt Samurai Champloo.
That's where I was going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Samurai Champloo is one of the best animated series ever. It's smart and action oriented and cool as hell.
Yeah.
Has great music in it. It has this combination of kind of hip hop music with feudal Japan.
And I forget.
Awesome.
I always forget because the hip hop music, they actually
great.
They actually like came to the States and like, hey, we want you to do the music for and they're like well-known hip hop producers that did the music.
The characters are amazing. Oh my God. The three main characters are so good, and they evolve over time. And Samurai Champloo.
It's by the same people that did Cowboy Bebop. So it's got a lot of the same type of tone per se.
Yeah.
But obviously with a totally different genre, it's fantastic.
Yeah. Great show.
Scott is in Truth or Consequences, New Mexico.
Truth or Consequences.
He's doing interviews on the street for Task Force Geek. Sean, you're up next, man.
I had the entire weekend to myself alone, and it was wonderful.
So porn?
Well, there is a movie on Shudder called Porno that I watched.
Yep.
Let me give you just a breakdown of that film.
All right.
It's a horror comedy set in a movie theater where 5 teens find a storage area that was boarded off, where they find a film reel that they play in the theater, releasing a succubus.
Oh, I like succubuses.
Yeah.
That's up my alley.
I knew it would be.
Thank you, Steve.
So, the title of the movie, it's a Shudder exclusive. The title of the movie is called Porno. If you have Shudder, the visual effects, there's a lot of practical effects, practical makeup effects that were used in this, that are very gruesome, very gory, a lot of fun. There's a lot of nudity in this, which I did not expect, both male and female.
With a title called Porno.
Yeah. I almost forgot that the theater owner and the five teens that unleash the succubus all have a very religious overtone to their character, which they then release the succubus in a movie called Porno.
Okay.
It's a fun watch. It's really a fun watch. Highly recommend.
All right.
That, and I watched a bunch of Scott Adkins, beating people up. So,
Well, that's cool.
gotta love Scott Adkins.
I am reading a book right now called Zeros. It's by Chuck Wendig. It's about a bunch of hackers that get recruited by the U.S. government to hack into bad people and stuff. It's interesting that it has an interesting cast of characters. It's like about maybe 5 or 6 different people, and they're all kind of, they're all a bunch of zeros. They're all losers that have been roped into this thing, and it's going to be interesting to see what they do with this. Chuck Wendig has he's a great writer. He does a great job of he has a way of turning a phrase. Let me put it that way. And he also does a great job of being very succinct with his writing. His writing style is very much to the point. It's very easy to plow through about 3 or 4 different chapters very quickly.
Have you read his Star Wars stuff?
I have not. And I had the first one that was right after the Force Awakens came out. They had it. I just haven't read it. I don't remember what is it. I can't remember the name of it even. I own it though. Can I show this?
Sure,
Sean.
There's nothing horrible there.
Is it legal?
It is legal. Just so you know, I'm not insane.
Yeah, I want to see that thing. Hey, Sean, what was the other Shudder movie that we saw the preview for the other night? I'm trying to think about that.
Psycho Gorman.
Psycho Gorman. That thing looks amazing.
If you don't know anything about Psycho Gorman, I pity you.
I don't know anything about Psycho Gorman.
I think I saw a screenshot.
pity
And that's
you.
all I've seen.
Psycho Gorman is a horror comedy coming up. Let's see if I can find something.
Anyone love Country? Has anyone seen it?
Lovecraft Country.
Lovecraft Country, yeah.
Oh, I've started that, but I haven't finished it yet.
You need to finish that one.
You got it, Sean?
I'm looking for stuff.
All right, we're moving on to the next section.
Rushing me.
It's all right, man. It's okay. Can you believe it? We're in promo time. What have you got there, Sean?
It's just a Google search on Psycho Gorman.
Oh, okay. Can we bring it up?
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Psycho Gorman.
It looks like
next
a
month.
blast. It looks like a blast. Little girl, big psych. She's controlling this dude.
It looks like a gore concert.
He's evil, right?
Kinda.
He's evil, and he does not like being
evil.
controlled. And it is hilarious.
He is he's an interstellar. How did they describe him? He is like a weapon, just pure evil and destruction. And this crazy, silly little girl
His controller.
has
Like
a
if a little girl
device.
was controlling Thanos.
Has a device that it forces Psycho Gorman to do her will. Look up the trailer. You'll thank me later.
It looks like a lot of fun. That's going to be on Shudder.
It's from the producers, I believe, of a movie called The Void, which was
That was good.
It was extremely heavy on practical effects, which again nowadays in today's CGI world, a lot of that is missing, and it's a true art form. And Psycho Gorman, as well as The Void, really utilized that practical application. It's going to be fun. If you don't have Shudder, Psycho Gorman comes out next month. You got plenty of time. Check it out. If Shudder would sponsor me, I could hand out stuff.
That's right.
Hey,
Shudder.
They should sponsor us.
Shudder.
We talked about doing a Shudder-centric movie review show for Task Force Key. We should do that. All right, we're going to go to our guest first, Stoney. Where should people find you?
All across social media, I am Bald Bearded Bard, all one word. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, ArtStation. I mostly write comic books. I also color comic books. You'll see most of that on my ArtStation. I've been trying to get more into TikTok. I think I'm too old.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I just can't seem to. But Bald Bearded Bard across social media.
What the heck are you supposed to do on TikTok? I mean, if you're not like a hot girl, what the hell are you supposed to do on TikTok? Seriously.
I've tried the twerking.
I mean, granted, some people would think that was funny if I twerked on TikTok,
sure, yeah.
But it's not really the attention I'm looking for.
Right, yeah. I've been taking time-lapse videos of my art coloring and
okay,
TikTok,
that'll work.
All right,
I
down
like
with that.
those. I think they're fun to watch myself, but
there you go.
I just haven't come across comic TikTok. The comic book community on TikTok doesn't seem to be a thing, or maybe I just haven't found it. I don't know, but
right.
Feel free to share those on Task Force Geeks.
Yeah.
Facebook page.
Yeah.
Start it.
For sure.
That is a great idea.
There you go.
Maybe you'll encourage all of us to get on there too and do some twerking. So you also have an Indiegogo campaign that's currently going on. You want to talk about this in case someone missed the last episode?
Yeah, so we've got a comic book anthology called Cthulhu Invades Oz, and it's right there in the title, Cthulhu Invades Oz, and it takes more than 50 creators. I think the last number was 54 creators from all across indie comics, putting them in teams and telling stories. And one of the coolest things about this 140 plus page book is that it's all one continuous narrative throughout the story. They all connect. And it's a phenomenal book. It was amazing to work on. I did a story called The Watch with David Galliano, who was from Savage Bastards, also from Mad Cave. And Craig Florence was on the art. And I just had an incredible time on this book and promoting it. And I made some incredible relationships and friendships and that just met some amazing people. And I'm really, really proud of the way this book came out. The Kickstarter did broke 20,000.
Wow.
Yeah. And
that's no joke, man. Congratulations.
Right. It is. I'll tell you, we worked our asses off to get there.
I know you did.
But even as hard as we worked and as much as we pushed this book, there were still people who went, "Hey, wait, I missed it," or
of course,
I just don't get paid until after it's over, And
people think that Kickstarter is the end all of everything, and it is not.
Yeah, for sure.
It is not.
So Travis Gibb, the gentleman who came up with the concept and put us all together and heard all of us cats, put it on Indiegogo for those that missed out and wanted a chance to get in on this. And there's a glow in the dark cover. There's 3 different covers you can get. There's all kinds of cool extras, and this is just an amazing book with some incredible talent. And we've got people from Scout Comics, Source Lab, Source Point, Action Lab, Image, Scout, Mad Cave, and then people who have never really done much, undiscovered talent. So it's just such a cool book. And we've already announced the sequel, Cthulhu Invades Wonderland. So I'm really excited about that. I'll actually get to write a story on that one. So
There you go.
I'm just really, really excited for it. So
I read this and it was awesome, by the way. Great concept, great execution, all kinds of great artwork, like super different styles on different people. Cohesive, despite the fact that it's done by all these different creators. It's definitely worth, if you missed it the first time around, don't miss it this time. It's definitely worth an investment. All right,
sure.
We're going to Walt.
I don't have much to offer today, but I will say if you've been to the Task Force Geek group, I posted a link to Dallas Vintage Toys this weekend.
You sure did.
Ray Park is going to be there signing autographs.
That is so cool.
So I'm very tempted to go out there and get my third autograph from Ray Park.
Oh.
If you can't see, I don't know if you can see on behind me, but I've got my Darth Maul. Let's see, right there. There's my Darth Maul right there.
I see it.
So if you're down this way, if the weather permits, Ray Park is a really, really, really nice person. One of the best people I've ever met as far as a famous person. One of the nicest people. He will chat with you. So if you're down here,
that's awesome.
Do a Google of Dallas Vintage Toys. Ray Park is going to be there at around, I think it's like 4:00 in the afternoon.
Yep.
So do that.
All right. Good stuff. All right, Sean, you're up.
Much like Walt, I don't really have a whole lot. I've been concentrating on
yes, you do.
Updating on the website.
There we go.
I've rankingstudios.com.
You did all kinds of stuff on that website over the weekend.
As well as don't forget to check us on Facebook/Ranking Studios.
There you go.
On the website, I've added more stuff to the portfolios. I've added stuff to the art challenges. I've added stuff everywhere. That was really
you added a bit on Task Force Geek.
In between my movie watching over the weekend, I've been steadily trying to make the website a little bit more interesting, a little bit more appealing visually to visitors.
We have a request to see your shirt. Hang on.
I have a deal in front of me.
Let me kill this. You're gonna have to sit up or something, man.
I got a cat on my lap.
I'm sorry. Well, that could be entertaining.
That's Michelle.
Oh.
Maniac Melodies.
There you go.
That's a fun shirt. Oh, by the way, I'd like to make a correction on that time for
we
the Ray Park.
may have lost.
Uh-oh.
Bye, Stoney.
The Ray Park is going to be
too damn long.
yeah. Ray Park is going to be at Dallas Vintage Toys between noon and 4:00. So if you're in the Dallas Fort Worth area, noon to 4, not 4:00, because if you get there at 4:00, it's
you get
over.
at 4, it's all over.
Yeah, so noon to 4.
No Darth Maul for you.
None. Or Toad or Snake Eyes.
Whatever the case is. Let's see. What have I got? How about going to Dark Cooper Plus, which is my Twitter address, and also the same thing for Periscope too. If you follow me on either one of those, it'd be really cool. Or you can go to facebook.com, Dark Cooper Artworks. You can follow some of us. I haven't been putting much stuff on there because I've been building websites myself. And you can go to rankingstudios.com where you can see my gallery that Sean has been working on. So you should probably go check that out. Also, there is our address. I mean, even better than that. Let's see. Let's put up my little thing here if I can find it. There it is. Oh, but I have this is not good. There we go.
There you go.
Send us stuff. It's never too late to send us.
Thanks, Ma.
Send us goodies. Let's see. Yeah. She likes the shirt. So anyway, I think that's it, guys. I mean, we're nearing 3 hours on this ridiculous thing. Does anyone have anything else that they want to talk about?
We had so much to talk about.
We could have literally gone. There's so many,
and there's stuff we left out.
There's so much stuff that we left out, to be honest with you, and so many things that were not related to the Disney thing that we could have done as well. It's ridiculous. All right.
Tune in next week.
Yeah.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
We'll cover it when we can. Hey, thanks to Stoney, who's no longer with us, but we sure do appreciate it. We love Stoney, and we hope that his family recovers, and that everyone is happy and healthy over there at his house. And check out his stuff. It's always good. He didn't even mention Villainous, which is on issue 3 or 4 right now. So go check out Villainous. It's super awesome stuff. Thanks to Walt, and thanks to Sean, and thanks to everyone who's watching us. We sure do appreciate it. Please leave a like or share wherever you see this. We deeply appreciate it. Wait a minute, we've got a comment. And thanks to Steve, who entertained us this evening. We appreciate that too.
Sorry we took so long, Steve.
Yeah, sorry, man. We knew that if nothing else, we'd have one person that would stick around to the end of this ridiculous thing. Thanks for watching us. We appreciate it. Happy holidays to everyone, and much love to all you people out there. Until next time, this is Dirk Cooper saying dream hard.